No.
Tom. So it's Tim and Tom.
So if you're lying here, I want Tom to call in or at least message us in the truth.
Well, he'd be listening because, he is a keen listener.
Yep.
He gets, when I sledge him, he
bites.
Retaliates.
Very quickly.
So,
How long? Give you 20 seconds?
Yeah, well, that depends because today, the conditions were actually a bit warm, a bit unusual for this period of time. But it was an omen, I reckon, because there were crows on the course.
Oh, no.
And I was surrounded by crows. Tom, obviously, right alongside me. There was some crow supporters up in front. They had their buggies with all crow stuff written all over. And then two blokes started sledging us from behind who come up and, g'day Don, g'day Salvo. And they said, are you that Timmy Gentleman bloke? The one with Rowie. And I said, yeah. And they said, yeah, we're Crowy, so yeah, we don't like you. And that was the thing. And anyway, we had a chat. They were good lads. And then they started watching us play because they knew my mate was Crows and I was Port. And it was coming down to the crunch end of the game.
Ooh,
so
how'd we go?
Yeah. No, he killed me.
So it didn't come down to the crunch. Did it come down to the crunch or not? On the 9th, did it come down to the crunch?
The crunch actually ended really early because
what
I was telling Sam I've been back in the 50s, and when I say the 50s, not the decade, but for 9 holes, I think I've had a good day.
So you're working on the 50. Theory, you play 18 holes, you crack the ton, you've done it right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly right. So I figure if I'm under 50, I've done it right.
Yep.
Last week, 56, got beat. The week before, 57, got beat. So I'm not in form.
Mm.
I've scratched, I've bit, I've done everything, and I've hit a 48 today.
Yeah.
Got beat. Hit a PB.
What?
43.
Wow.
Yeah, so he is listening. Don't worry about that. He is over the moon about that performance. So it was a bit of I've got to say, it could be an omen for the Adelaide Crows. You never know.
Wow. We'll take
I
it.
thought you were going to say you were surrounded by crows. You've topped one and cleaned up a poor crow on the field, on the course, on the fairway.
Don't worry, I can play those shots. Don't worry about that. Oh, wow. Hey, it is selection night, mate, and there's going to be a lot of talk about who comes in, who comes out. But as you know, Josh Rochelle, he comes on to our Brekkie show every Thursday and all the rest of it.
He came out, didn't he?
Port Adelaide
verbally.
Well, I'm sort of, I've got to say, I'm pretty pleased because I reckon sometimes we've said things in the media.
We are the kings of saying stuff that
comes to
lights the fire.
Yeah, or comes to bite you again. Right now, for me, it's just been all crows. It's been Rochelle, it's been Folger, of course. He's done it a couple of times. Have a listen to Josh Rochelle. Just throw some more fuel on the fire this morning.
I won't spray. I did mention on Nova before that the Port supporters don't have many teeth, so that was a.
Oh, really?
I shouldn't have said that.
You know it's a Port home game.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, here we go. Dangerfield said that years ago, and
did he?
Never lived it down.
Oh no.
There is no part of you that's concerned if the opposing fans boo you, is there?
Nah.
It's just not part of your. In fact, do you like it?
I love it. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's actually awesome that Horn Francis gets booed every week because then when he's kicking goals and having great games, he can really stick it up them. So
yeah, completely.
It'd be good that he's getting everyone to cheer him this week, but I'm sure I won't be getting many cheers from me.
Teeth.
I mean, come on.
Come up with something new.
Yeah, the last time I heard that joke, I fell off my dinosaur. I mean, fair dinkum.
Oh,
there you go.
last time I heard that joke.
That's from the Step Brothers movie. So there you go. Just quoting how old that gag
when
is.
When they made their bunk beds was the funniest bit on that movie.
Yeah.
So much room for activities.
If you're going to have a go, don't you want to make it good?
Yeah. You want to throw a good barb.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to throw a good one. And that one,
Has anyone got any good barbs out there?
What's your best showdown sledge?
Has anyone got any good barbs out there?
Yeah, good showdown sledge.
8223 0000 showdown sledges. Get it started.
I'm sure there's been plenty throughout the years. You know what I like? The running bets that go on too. There's again, my mate that I played with this morning, he has had a running bet with a Port guy that's been going for that whole time, carton of beer, and they have to go and deliver the carton of beer to whoever wins.
We're up for Black Gut Shiraz.
I've been
drunk for 6 months.
Yeah, well, if you win, you just put it away.
It's just done. Bank it, you reckon?
Or you can give it to me.
Will you pay my bill then?
But Josh Rochelle did get asked about how they've been going about stopping opposition teams who are on a momentum run.
for us the last, I guess, month, we've trained it a lot. We've executed a couple of structural things, and I think it's more just of a mindset shift. I feel like when the momentum's against us, we kind of go into our shells a little bit. We stop playing our free-flowing footy and using the ball game, a bit more of a defensive mindset, whereas when that kind of momentum's against us, we've kind of switched that around now to just be a bit more in the fight, a bit more attacking, get our hands on the footy.
Yeah, because, I mean, they have stopped a few in their tracks, haven't they? And Bulldogs was a good example of that last week, where they had really good winning momentum and whacked them off the park. So
they've got it there. And
Yeah.
that's the reason why the Crows fans have probably been a bit frustrated, isn't that right, Tuggers? This year, because their best is good enough. It's just a consistency, like a lot of teams, that bites.
correct. Here's Josh Carr, just on, because this is selection night, on the forward options to replace Marshall.
Had a good game in the Maggies Sunday, and Ryan Burton played forward as well, and he had a good game. So we feel like there's a couple of options to bring in.
Referring to Ollie Lord at the start there as well.
Yeah, a unique homestyle food text that has popped up just saying, hey boys, is the rumour of Jordan Sweet being dropped and Soldo coming in for him true? Thanks very much from Tex. Is that Tex Walker? He's got very... Oh, gee whiz, not bad. A bit busy, but... have you heard any rumours on that one?
No, I saw it. I saw it on our text line yesterday.
Popped up yesterday, didn't
I
it?
haven't heard or seen that.
We're going to find out at 5:50.
It'd take a fair bit to drop him, only because his form's been... Yes, I think Max Gordon on last week's form wipes every other ruckman in the comp.
Yeah.
So, and I
thought he
thought
fought back
before
in the
that...
second half, though.
Yeah, and I thought his form has been pretty good, but maybe do they want... Sweetie Morley crosses the line and wrestles. Soldo jumps in. Do they think that's an option? Not sure. But the forward bit intrigues me.
Yes.
Who replaces... Marshall.
Yeah.
Georgiadis, not sure how much he trained, if he did much last night.
I don't think he's coming up.
No, but then the discussion is, do you play a Burton, do you play a Lord, or do you push a Narkle into the starting 22, then you play an extra mid like a Lorenz or someone like that? So there's lots of different discussion points, and we'll know that team pretty soon.
Yeah, of course, Riley O'Brien played very well last week. He absolutely smacked Tim English, didn't he?
58 hitouts.
And Steve from Hectorville, he just says, how did Tim English get a 5-year deal after what he dished up last week? He said, and the presser after the game, I must have been watching a different game. I agree. Riley O'Brien did a
Tim English, All-Australian
superb
ruckman last year.
job, yeah.
5-year deal.
And Jordan Sweet cleaned him up earlier too. So interesting one. Connor Rosey, we spoke to him yesterday. And for those that didn't hear, you asked him about the question about, have you, the response since Brisbane. And he gave us an insight.
So sometimes you need that sort of reminder of what's important. And for us, that was probably our connection as a group. Probably wavered a little bit. During the middle of the season can be tough. The weeks can just roll through. So we got back to, I guess, just spending a bit more time with each other and celebrating each other more. And then that eventually leads into our energy and our overall performance. So, as I said before, we've sort of figured out what makes us a good side, and I guess the test now is to do that consistently for the last couple of games into our final.
Ooh, they'll be looking to do
Sharing
that.
the love, I took that.
Yeah, yep.
Get around your teammates, celebrate each other's wins.
So Port fans and Crows fans, who comes in for Marshall? Who comes in for Tex? What are you doing with your forward lines?
For me, it's Gallant. Isn't Gallant?
8 goals, yeah.
Look, if he doesn't get in after playing, kicking 8...
He'd be disappointed.
You bet. And he hasn't been... They haven't gone to him many times this year. Admittedly, forward line hasn't had many outs, and Fox played really well. You've seen Thilthorpe come, but early on they could have played him a lot more. You got to think, if they don't go to him this time, then he's probably got to look around and see what other options there are.
We'll see what happens there. Good news at the Crows land, though. Riley Thilthorpe has signed an extension, goes through to the end of 2028. Okay, yeah, just making sure that one's secure.
Lots of cash.
Oh, Johnny. Yeah.
No, he would. He'd be on big bucks.
Oh, fair enough.
Not as big a bucks as if he's dominating the comp, but we've seen a...
Oh, there was a stat. He's been in the top 10 for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah,
He's,
and that proves to you how important he is long term. We know that Adelaide gave up, I think by memory, picked 2 in a pretty big draft that Logan McDonald was in and a few others. They went after the man. They went after the local lad. He hasn't been able to deliver, not from form. It's from injury that's cost him. And we saw when he put that weight back on, he's a force to be reckoned with if he can stay fit. And like Adelaide's done, they've had a bit of room in their salary cap. It's been that way for a few years. Lock away the bloke who you think can be your power forward for the next 10 years. Smart move.
Mark Keane, on the other hand, at the other end of the ground, who's I think he's played 25 or 26 possible games. He's been superb since coming in.
has.
He's beaten some big targets too, and he's still technically a rookie and technically on a rookie contract. So the interest is there.
We'll be out of contract
We
too.
know that's not just Collingwood, that some other Melbourne clubs are interested, but of course Adelaide want to try and get that one
Adelaide
stitched
can
up.
upgrade him ahead of everyone else, provided they commit to him.
Yeah,
So there's no doubt. But he's also got to play the game and go, well, hang on. Yep, I want to stay at Adelaide. Because I think he was originally listed at Collingwood.
He was.
Yeah,
That's where he came
yeah,
from.
correct.
Yeah. So there's rumours and whatever. But, geez, if I'm him and you've done what you've done, Adelaide's going to be forced to pay you well, put you on the list, and you're a chance to be a 10-year player.
So the reports are there's something significant in front of him right now. Whether he wants it or not is his decision.
Good call. We'll get on to
Significant.
Andrew Dillon, yes.
Lamb and 3 mash and veg or
All right.
how much cash?
Well, maybe it's a potato farm. You never know. Andrew Dillon, how he was interviewed by 3AW, and a couple of things came out of it that I've picked out, right?
What do you got for me?
Well, the first one is, remember when he said, I don't think the umpire's been any better. Remember he said it's the best,
He was in
good as it's
Adelaide.
ever been.
He was
Best
doing
it's ever been.
gather round announcement in Adelaide. It's the best it's been.
best it's ever been. So he was asked again about 4 umpires.
I think overall the umpires do a great job. The 4 umpire system is, second year now, working quite, really well, and will continue to work better as our umpires get more experienced in that system.
That's a better answer. Better answer, but it sounds like there's a little bit of backing up.
Yeah.
Little bit of backing up. He went out hard and no one bought it and gather round. And let's face it, we've probably struggled since then.
So not the best it's ever been, but
No.
yeah, we're just
pretty good.
working through
We're going all right.
I like it. Give us a ring on that one, 8223 0000. We've got a $50 Powers voucher on the line tonight. He'll also spoke about the future of the sub. These are 2 of my favourite subjects. Here we go.
Sub.
Look, at the end of the year, we review the laws of the game, our tribunal guidelines. There's been a bit of feedback on the sub during the year. It's something that we'd look at, but I wouldn't be rushing into changing things. There'd have to be a good reason to do it.
I got a good reason for you. Gives nothing to the game. We originally put it in, I think, around COVID because shorter games, shorter recovery games, 4 days between games at times.
It got brought back after 2011 being chucked out for concussion.
Concussion, but then it turned into medical sub, concussion sub only. Then it turned into tactical sub. So now we've got an extra player earning a game, right? If you go historically, extra player earning a game who sits there for the vast majority of the match just in case. Do we really need it? Football has always been a game of attrition, hasn't it? Injury,
And
corky,
and when you have one of
something.
those wins,
and we're not talking concussion,
it's great.
but if you have someone ruled out, that's just bad luck.
Just bad luck.
That's footy. Why should you get a fit player to activate?
I reckon they're going to go 5 on the bench, which I go 4 is good enough anyway. Look, we've got a caller who wants to make a comment on Andrew Dillon's thoughts on the umpires.
But you're living in a world of make-believe with flowers and bells and leprechauns and magic frogs with funny little hats.
Caller from Springfield, thank you very much.
Homer
Give us
J.
a call, 223 00.
Oh my goodness gracious me, it's 20 minutes after 4. We have Showdown 56 teams coming up at 5:50, so make sure you're listening then. We have Caroline Wilson back tonight as well at 5 o'clock. Great to have her back after a few weeks away. We have Olympic gold medalists on the show as well, Naomi Fox and Keegan Palmer. Great to have them back from Paris. We have Roosters coach Jacob Surjan, and we have Daniel Garb to talk all things Premier League as we lead up to the first week of matches, and more Showdown 56 tickets. Do not miss your chance to get to the FIVEAA locker room for what will be a massive game on Saturday night. The number 8223 0000. If you want to get involved in the show, lines available.
Rowie and Timmy G on the FIVEAA Sports Show.
Our Running Drive is back another year supporting Hutt Street Centre and Catherine House, raising funds to provide clean underwear for those less fortunate.
This year there's more ways than ever for you to get involved, including buying your own limited edition Undie Drive socks from the website roughsleeper.com.au.
Yeah, it's that easy, and don't forget you can still head to fivetoplayandiedrive.com.au anytime to donate.
All thanks to Rough Sleeper, Threads for Good, sustainable clothing supporting Adelaide's homeless.
Mario Mayola Promotions and FIVEAA present Hooked on Swing, starring vocal sensation Kate Black, the Three Little Sisters, and crooner Chris Lloyds, together with the Boogie Woogie Big Band and Swing Dancers. Come hear the music of Benny Goodman, Cab Calloway, Billie Holiday, the Andrews Sisters, Glenn Miller, Nina Simone and more. Hooked on Swing, Festival Theatre, Wednesday, October 2nd. Book now at Ticketek.
Hi, I'm Lynn Andrews. For over 50 years we, the Lynn Andrews team, have specialised in commercial and residential property management. But above all, we specialise in people, helping to make life easier for investors and tenants. Everyone is treated with empathy and respect. It's the way we do business. It's the Lynn Andrews way. For residential and commercial property management, we're here to help you. Visit lynnandrews.com.au.
Now, Stephen Rowe, he's away at the moment. He's just attending a friend's wedding.
Junket.
So potentially. But if he was here, he'd be reading this ad with absolute passion. It's about Crowe's Paints. And, of course, he was a master painter. And here's the thing you're going to love about them. Your local Crowe's store, they have all the answers. Now, for someone like me, Crowe's is a must. Yeah. Now, I'll have a crack at it. Don't worry. Yeah, but I did all my nurseries for all the kids.
Yeah, but the problem with you and I,
yes,
we ain't pros,
no.
So you need some help.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's about preparation. Get that right.
Which is probably not a strong point for us.
Yeah. And depends on the beginning. So, doesn't matter what you're painting or staining, because that's another thing you've got to do.
Oh, no.
Getting ready for the outdoor season. They'll be able to help you. Questions like, what's the best solution? Does it matter if you're painting a chair, a door, a wall, a house, a shed, a skyscraper, anything? An old second-hand bike you just found. Whatever it is you're painting, you've got to get to Crowe's and they'll help you out. I'm telling you, timber, metal, tile, steel, render, wallpaper, they do it all. So whatever you're painting or fixing up, Crowe's can help you. And, best of all, you'll love the prices. And just remember this, Crowe's only sell premium quality paint. It'll last longer. Do the job right. Don't go cheap. Go Crowe's. Visit crowespaints.com.au for a store near you.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tires and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
Specsavers do hearing aids. That's surprising. But here's the real surprise. Our prices on high-tech hearing aids are also surprisingly low. Visit us online and compare today. Specsavers for high-definition sound at low Specsavers prices.
How to get Dad off-road with confidence and give him a shot at the ultimate Father's Day gift. Get into TJM and check out their Father's Day sale on now. You could win the old boy or yourself a trip for 2 to the NRL Grand Final in Sydney with flights, accommodation and an incredible game day experience. Spend $79 or more on TJM products at TJM Ranella or Nailsworth to go in the draw. Head in store now. T's and C's apply.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
25 minutes after 4 on this Thursday. We're asking for your Showdown sledges on the back of Josh Rochelle earlier this morning. 8223 This good text here saying, Timmy, good mate of yours here, did some work with you years ago. I absolutely love it when Showdown is on. And when it's a Port home game specifically, because crime reduces by 70% during game time. Go the Crows. A little bit of fun. We'll have a little bit more of that as we go through the show. You can have some fun with us. 8223 and we'll hear from Scott Ninnis shortly. He's released a statement and broken his silence for the first time since he was sacked earlier this week. We'll find out what he said after we check your traffic. All thanks to Rossdale Homes, the custom home 2-story and split-level specialists.
Afternoon, a few passing showers, particularly through the hills at the moment, so take it easy on damp roads and look out for works at South Brighton today. Brighton Road near Broadway. Also Mitchell Park, Dawes Road near Carramar Avenue, and slow at Harndorf, the freeway near River Road. Camrose, Anglevar Road, Virginia, and Beulah Road at Norwood. Foodland late week specials, 1 kilo pack Primo cocktail Frankfurts, $6, or 1 kilo Royal Harvest budget bacon, $8.50. Ends tomorrow at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Yes, so Tredders, there's been a statement from Scott Ninnis released today to the media, and I'll be reading it out now. These are the words of Scott Ninnis. It's been a very difficult few days for myself and my family. I was completely blindsided by Monday's news, just 11 days into pre-season. The incredible support I've received from current NBL coaches and players, both past and present, as well as 36ers legends, families and friends, club sponsors, and the South Australian basketball community has been overwhelming. I put my heart and soul into this club for nearly half my life, and I'm deeply disappointed and hurt by this outcome. I walk out with my head held high, knowing what I achieved at the end of last season and what I was putting in place for the season ahead. I'll share more in the future. I have a 2-year contract with the club, which I expect to be honoured. For now, this matter is in the hands of my legal team, Scott Ninnis. That's the next part of the chapter of the story, isn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, for me that could be the final part of the story too. Because if his contract's honoured, which without knowing the intricacies of the contract, I doubt it'd have a clause where it says you can just be terminated any time with no compensation. You know, normally there's contract terms on both sides. Then it probably doesn't need to be in the hands of the legal team. It just needs to be sorted out, and they both move on. And
I think for the club, they want that tip-off to happen very quickly, don't they? And then
well, the reality is the club's made a really tough decision. He's hurt by that decision. Totally understand that. And now they've gone in a different direction, and you'd expect him to be compensated. I would think, from my experience in AFL footy.
That's how contract work.
Yeah.
Alrighty, it's Showdown week. We've got the unique homestyle food text just ticking away. We've got Steve at Athelston. G'day, Steve.
G'day, mate. How you going?
Good, buddy.
How are you, Steve? Going well?
Yeah, good, mate. Can't wait for Saturday night. Just a quick one about the Port supporters having missing teeth.
Yeah.
The only difference is Crow supporters have got full sets of teeth because they're that old, they've got dentures. That's the first one. The second one, he reckons that he loves being booed. It's funny because when he goes for a mark, if his opposition boos him, he drops his head and starts running the other way. So,
jeez, you're brutal.
Yeah.
You've set a fair standard, Steve, so the calls are going to go off now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he's come back with a vengeance there. Well played, Stevie.
Good to receive, I reckon.
Well played. Yeah, fair enough too. Well, they say, whatever you put out there, you get back.
Good for the goose, good for the gander.
There's been a couple of beauties already flying in.
Jeez,
so
that's brutal.
Keep them flowing. That's all part of the Showdown week, I would expect. But
reiterate. Just a little bit of banter.
That's it. Keep it a banter.
Take it personally.
Yeah. Exactly right. We've got the 4:30 headlines coming up. We're going to speak to Olympic gold medalist, not Jess Fox, her sister, Naomi Fox, next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
Peter Dutton created a storm yesterday. He made a fairly bold policy declaration.
I don't think people should be coming in from that war zone at all.
So a ban on people coming in from Gaza.
There's clearly this radical, hardcore element. Now, you only need to let 5 to 10 of those people into Australia, and who knows what happens and who knows where it happens.
Adelaide's leading breakfast show.
So what Dutton's done here, I think, is politically smart.
Weekdays from 6 a.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good afternoon, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The fishermen who perished off the coast of KI late yesterday have been identified. Both were 65. The Whyalla Steelworks has axed almost 50 jobs. The federal government will guarantee all regional flight bookings for Rex customers during its administration process. And in sport, Tim Payne is the new coach of the Adelaide Strikers. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Aged 45 to 49, search Australian Government free bowel screening kit and order yours today.
G'day there. A few passing showers, so take it easy on damp roads on the drive home. Look out for works at Crayford West, the tunnels in Mount Barker Road. Also at Ascot Park, Tours Road near Joy Street, and slow for works at Belair, Sheoak Road near James Road. Speeds at 40 at the moment. Got some cameras this afternoon, Anglevale Road, Virginia, and Beulah Road at Norwood. Looking for a new mattress? The Snooze 50th birthday sale is on now. Save up to 50% off mattresses and up to 50% off bed frames. Hurry, sale is on now. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, rain increasing tonight down to 11. Tomorrow, showers and 16. Right now, it's 21 degrees. We'll have more news at 5, and as it happens, on 5AA.
The Honda mid-size SUV stock clearance is on now. Get 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist, plus a $1,000 Ampol fuel card on 2023 build Honda ZR-V and CR-Vs. Visit us at Formula Honda to test drive today. Ampol fuel card offer valid until September 30. Different warranty applies for vehicles used for commercial purposes. T's and C's at honda.com.au. Hurry into Formula Honda. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury.
Glenelg has something for everyone. Beach, sunsets, cafes, and the $3.9 million grand prize in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery. A fully furnished Scott Salisbury masterpiece with soaring ceilings, outdoor living, a swimming pool, and it comes with $500,000. Get your tickets now at homelottery.com.au. Life-changing prizes, life-changing impact. homelottery.com.au. Licence M14585.
Take a look outside, you know.
What?
It's hardly board shorts and mojitos weather.
No, it looks like
at the
rain and
moment.
cloud.
Yeah, it's a bit
We've got a
dark and
taste of
gloomy
the
out
warm
there.
stuff, but the warm stuff's coming, Timmy.
It is, and the Adelaide Outdoor Kitchen people, they want to take your order right now for summer. It's the best time to do it. So now's the time. Start there, book it up, and get it locked in. Now, get a consultation, and they'll take you through what the outdoor entertaining needs that you have desired, and from a custom concrete bench to a full outdoor kitchen with appliances, they can do it all.
You certainly can. So if you act now, you'll have your Adelaide Outdoor Kitchen ready before mojitos are back on the menu. You don't want to leave it too late, otherwise you end up trying to light your old Barbie in a gale and try to sizzle up your snags in the rain. Don't turn your barbecues into, barbecues.
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 Yeah, well executed.
We'd rather barbecues. Book a chat now. Hurry up. Time's limited. Go to adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au today.
Why choose between enriching your own life or ensuring your family's future when you can do both? With LGT Crestone, you get the trusted service of a local firm and the strength of a multinational, giving Australian investors the best of both worlds. To speak with a private wealth advisor, visit lgtcrestone.com.au. LGT Crestone Wealth Management Limited, ABN 50005 311937, AFSL 231127. Eligibility criteria apply. See website for terms.
Tired of waking up tired? IKEA can help. Start building a more sleep-friendly space with IKEA, the one-stop shop for snoozing. So wake up. It's time to sleep. Make it happen at ikea.com.au.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
26 minutes to 5. Caroline Wilson coming up after 5 o'clock tonight. She's back. It's been a long time since we've spoken to Caro. We have Keegan Palmer, Olympic gold medalist as well tonight. And very shortly we'll be chatting with Naomi Fox after returning back from Paris with a gold medal.
Well, the unique home-style food texts keep flying in. Every time I hear the In Excess song, all I think of is "You'll Never Tear Us a Hamstring," Connor Rosie.
Oh. I like your thinking, but it didn't quite roll off the tongue, did it?
There you go.
Not like the dentures, Sledge.
Yeah, not quite. Not to worry there. This was an interesting one that I did hear Andrew Dillon talking about. I see Craig McRae has backed off his comments about umpires giving more frees to the home ground advantage team. He must have gone back and looked at Collingwood's frees at the MCG, says John. That was an interesting one, wasn't it? And Andrew Dillon actually made a comment about it.
I don't think fines are always the way to go. I think what you want to do is educate, and what we want to have is our coaches being good representatives of their clubs. Yeah. And there's a line that gets drawn, and we made a call on this occasion that this is the best way to treat. And Craig's been an incredible coach and continues to be.
Yeah, I think he got probably, what would you say, just overwhelmed with the fact that he wasn't in Melbourne. Yeah, that's probably.
And
why
they lost a game at the
they lost a game
at the death.
Yeah. So which they don't normally do. So
no,
got a
they
good
normally win the
record
close
there.
ones.
All right, let's get to our next guest.
Well, Tredders, one of the great Olympic moments. I got a
Keep
tear.
saying to you, Tim.
I got a tear in the eye.
Gold.
Gold. Exactly. Naomi Fox, of course, Olympic gold medalist in her own right in the kayak cross. What an event that is. We got her on the line. G'day, Naomi. How are you?
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me. Pretty good. A bit jet lagged, but overall pretty good.
Hey, mate, what a sport that is. That is as rough a tumble event as I've seen. And I love the entry. Just drop you off there like a ride at Wet and Wild and off you go.
It is like a Wet and Wild ride. And in training, you kind of just want to keep on doing the ramp. And it's definitely a sport that is so fun and enjoyable. But yeah, that ramp is definitely like an action start and adrenaline rush to the event, and such a cool way to get started and just go fully out and out with a bang. But yeah, it's a really fun sport, and it was amazing to see how well it was received for its Olympic debut, and amazing to come out on top and pretty unscathed. So yeah, still recovering a little bit, a few bruises, but overall pretty unscathed.
Well done. I was wondering about that start, though. Do you get a choice on where you are, like, across the grid?
Yeah, so basically the time trial is what indicates the pool and the ranking, and then basically if you win each round, then you always get first pick. And what I did, and the red bib is the bib that makes the first choice on the ramp, and I stayed with the red bib throughout my whole race, which was amazing for me because it meant that I could always choose the lane that I felt really comfortable in and knew I could, get a good start in, and that was definitely part of the strategy to get that good start and get ahead of the field as soon as possible.
Yeah, perfect strategy when you end up with gold. Don't worry about that. How's life changed for you?
Honestly, it's been a bit of a blur. I mean, it was amazing to have a week in Paris and to go see different events and to kind of just enjoy the city and the Olympic Games as a gold medalist and as an athlete and, explore the village. And then since coming back, I mean, I'm so jet lagged and sleep deprived that it's, I feel like a bit of a shell of a human that it hasn't really hit me. But I went straight for a paddle this morning at my venue where I train at the Penrith Whitewater Stadium, and it was decked out in green and gold, and that was kind of, a moment where it hit me. So, but, I was like, is it all a dream? Am I just back to my reality? Did all of this happen? So.
Take us through that paddle. Is it an Olympic performance paddle or a cobwebs blowing out paddle?
It was a cobwebs blowing out paddle because I couldn't even find my own kayak. So my teammate Tim Anderson lent me his 75-kilo boat. And look, it wasn't the best session I've ever done in my life, but it was good fun.
The family's done all right too. Sister Jess, gold medal. Yourself, gold medal. Family would be pretty happy, and it was quite emotional at the end.
Yeah, I mean, it was very emotional. I think nobody saw that coming. It feels like it's too good to be true, essentially. I mean, Jess, her goal was to get 2 golds, but the fact that she did that is, pretty sensational. It's much easier said than done. And then for me, I had beaten everyone before. I knew I could make the final, but to actually win as well was just unbelievable. I think, the fact that we just had such a clean sweep is so hard to fathom and comprehend. It feels like a dream. But, we were in the best possible physical shape. We were loving being in Paris. We were having the most incredible time and soaking up every single moment of the Olympics. And I think that sort of mentality and preparation just really paid off.
Naomi, I was reading with interest that it isn't easy when you've got an older sibling who's ahead of you as far as timeline goes and achieving, and you've got to sort of play your role. And I love the line where you said that, it was hard starting out because you'd go to family events and they would say, oh, you do it too. Now, I want you to go to the next family event, wear that gold medal and say, yeah, look, I do it too, and I do it bloody well.
And you know what? The best sort of, ending to that chapter of my life was when we were at security in Paris. The passport control stopped Jess and said, oh, Naomi Fox's sister. I watched her race, and that was a bit of a humbling moment for her, but a huge win for me.
Oh, I can't believe it's been reversed. How awesome's that?
Like all siblings, has there been that competitive tension over the journey?
A little bit, but I think, there's always been that one spot, and rightfully so, it's been her, as hard as that's been for me. She's the greatest of all time in our sport. She's a dominant force, and I think I've just respected the fact that it's the Olympics have always been a bit of a far stretch for me, but when that opportunity came up to have an extra quota and to go for the kayak cross, which was an event that, I guess was always my main event, we fully seized the opportunity and tried to put luck on our side, put all the eggs in one basket to make my Olympic dream come true. And she was my sparring partner. She really helped me prepare for that event, and I helped her prepare for the slalom as well. So it was definitely hard to be in the same heat straight off the bat. That was, it felt like the media kind of manifested that, and, everyone wanted to see us together, but we didn't want to see ourselves together that early on. So, but, I think there's just mutual respect, and I allowed myself to really live through the emotions of her winning as a sister and as a teammate, and I emotionally drained myself. I went full out. I was screaming, and she did the same for me. So I think it's such a beautiful thing that we have, and it's definitely hard to not have that Olympic window, but I think my journey's just happened at the right time, and I arrived in Paris at a point in my career where I was, ready to win, and I did, so I wouldn't change anything.
And Naomi, I'm surprised you said when you were in that same heat that I didn't think you'd see her at all anyway, because I think she was just in your wash, wasn't she?
Yeah, she got a bit caught at the start. I had one of my best starts was in that heat, and so I just went ahead.
Yeah,
and then she got caught behind, but when I saw her at the finish line, in my head it was going to be 1 and 2. She was going to be, even if we did opposites, she was going to be behind me. And when I saw her get stuck as I exited, I had a moment where it wasn't celebration. It was like, no, like she's not going to come with me. But then after that, it was really, I had a job to do for the last remaining athlete in Australia, and. Yeah, it was amazing to have the support of everyone there, and so many Aussies in the crowd, and so many Australians that I'm, kind of bumping into now when I go to a coffee shop or at the train station just earlier that said, we watched your race and it was amazing. So the support has been amazing.
I'm interested that the whole family's into the sport. I mean, both parents, your mum from a French background, your dad from a British background, and the cultural influences that you would have from both the French side and the English side, and of course the Australian side, living here. So how's all that influenced you and shaped you?
Yeah, I think, our childhood has been so amazing. We've been lucky enough to travel, following mum and dad when they were coaches on the Australian team, and always, by the riverbank. I think this Olympics was extremely special because it felt like a home Olympics, and having the French support, even though they were mainly supporting France, they knew we were half French, and we really felt their support. Having also, bumping into some of mum and dad's old teammates and knowing they were there and cheering us on as well. But, it's been such a beautiful childhood. And yesterday on the charter flight, we were reflecting 20 years ago, we were welcoming my dad home from Athens, and I have a book full of signatures from, Ian Thorpe, Anna Michael Klim, and it was super emotional yesterday getting off the charter thinking, wow, 20 years ago, we were those little kids asking for autographs. So, yeah, super special childhood that kind of ignited the Olympic dream. And like any athlete on the Australian team, you really need the support of parents, family, friends, and, super lucky to have that the whole way.
Well, it was one of the great moments of the Paris Olympics. We absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. You are now an Olympic gold medalist. You can go to bed, put that head on the pillow and just go, you beauty.
I will be doing that every night, I think, for the rest of my life.
Well done, mate. Congratulations. Sensational stuff, and we look forward to seeing you in LA.
Thanks so much.
Naomi Fox, our guest, and what a magnificent achievement that was, and just one of the great moments, I reckon.
You're not going to complain when it's gold, are you?
Nah. Gold, gold, gold.
Gold, indeed. It's fantastic that we've got her on the show. Keegan Palmer as well, Olympic gold medalist, to join us after 5:30 tonight. Let's check your traffic. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Few passing showers to damp roads for the drive home. Take it easy. Look out for works at Ascot Park, Dawes Road near Joy Street. Also a bit of activity at Verdun, the freeway near the Verdun ramp, and slow at Mitchell Park, Dawes Road near Carramar Avenue. Cameras, Fisher Street, Myrtle Bank and Green Hill Road at Burnside. Combining comforts and cutting-edge technology, make the Mercedes-Benz GLA City Edition yours for $66,900 drive away. Visit Mercedes-Benz Adelaide and Unley. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Steinborner Automotive has always been well worth the trip, and now there's Barossa Mazda, Murray Street, Nuriotpa. It's SA's newest Mazda dealership, and it's having its first clearance sale. Save thousands on new and demo Mazda CX-5, BT50, CX-30, CX-60. In fact, the whole Mazda range. Experience the difference in the Barossa with outstanding service, a great range of vehicles, state-of-the-art new facility, and you'll see why Barossa Mazda is well worth the trip. barossamazda.com.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
If your current job is driving you bonkers, get outdoors and hit the road. ACET Transport Solutions is growing and they need more drivers to keep their promise of perfect service. So, if you want a career that'll take you places, get in touch with the team at ACET Transport Solutions. Visit acettransport.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
Levita, it's an absolute treasure in the West, Timmy. You got to do yourself a favour and pop in for a mouth-watering lunch or dinner, and once you have, you'll be going back again and again and again, just like I do.
Yes, I have done it, and
we did it Sunday night
regularly. So it's a great place, and they make you feel like you're just part of the family. I love it. The mouth-watering Italian cuisine, the entire range of pizzas from the pizzeria, and Anthony fires it up in about 10 minutes from 5 p.m. And all you got to do is just drive past and you grab a couple of beauties out of the warm oven. Oh, take them home for you.
Absolutely. Beside the amazing food, the best part of Levita has to be the warm, friendly family atmosphere. Rachel and Anthony and the entire team treat everyone like their family. And if you see my kids go to the gelatis afterwards, wow. They can say no, you know.
They have a treadway warning, actually, that goes up.
There's enough kids, mate. Wipe out the whole gelati pot.
I love it. It's the perfect place for functions too. Birthdays, christenings, engagements, sporting club celebrations. They can cater up to 200 guests with 3 separate different areas you can do them in.
Absolutely. Levita, open Tuesday to Sunday for lunch and dinner, 342 Grange Road, Kidman Park. You'll love it.
Join Gliderol in celebrating the Colorbond Steal the Show promotion. By purchasing a roller door or sectional door made from Colorbond steel from Gliderol, now or within the last 12 months, you could win $100,000. Visit gliderol.com.au today for a free measure and quote. Retail customers only. T's and C's apply. See colorbond.com/steal the show. 18 plus only. Strict purchase and eligibility criteria apply. Ends 30/11/24.
Thinking of painting and don't know where to start?
We do, because we know paint at Crowies.
So, visit Crowies. And while you're there, join Crowies Club to get 10% off everything.
We know paint at Crowies.
Hi, Brady Bitt here from Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda, and it seems you like them too. The free rego and stamp duty offer was so huge, it's back. That's 12 months of rego and stamp duty. Plus, they'll also chuck in $500 worth of accessories. They tell me the red ones are going fast. Mawson Lakes Mazda. Free rego and stamp duty and $500 worth of extras on all new Mazdas until August 31st. Mawson Lakes Mazda. Just a short drive from the city.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Tredders in for Rowie. It's 10 minutes to 5. Caroline Wilson's coming up after 5 o'clock. Daniel Garb will also join us soon to chat all things Premier League that starts this weekend. And the Adelaide Strikers have themselves a new coach heading into BBL 14 this summer. Tim Payne, who was the assistant coach last year, has signed on as head coach for the next 2 years.
Yes, that he has. So I wonder if you reckon there was a process put together for that?
So there was talk another contender was Darren Lehman. In fact, Buff, very proud South Australian, was in the running.
Polar opposites there.
I'm very keen to do it. Yeah, so
Not that Tim Payne's bad, but Tim Payne's pretty fresh out of the game, former Australian captain, been assistant coach for 1 or 2 years of the Striker.
1 season in the Big Bash.
And then you got Buff, who's captain Australia, coached Queenslander Shields, coached multiple IPL all over the
Big Bash,
and would be a homecoming of sorts.
Who would have done that process at the SACA.
You're the new head of high performance, so I would assume the CEO would be involved.
Yeah. Well, let's get one of them on just to see who else was in the running, because if Wolf Lehman was in the running, wow. All righty, let's go to Philip at Cadell. G'day, Philip.
G'day, Tim. I just wanted to talk about, we've got 2 monitoring games left, obviously, and then up to 4 finals for some teams, or the possibility of 4 finals. And it seems like, you know, we obviously know this year's been very close and very interesting, and it's been like, it seems there's been a number of teams that have had a good run where they've won 4 or 5 in a row. You know, they might have dropped a couple of games, and then all the talk was about getting rid of the coach and dropping out of the top 8. Then all of a sudden they'll string 3 or 4 wins together, and then they're in 2nd or 3rd spot.
Yeah.
You know, Port Adelaide have had a go, GWS.
Yes.
We know Brisbane have, you know, after a slow start being 2 and 5, and now where they are, with the opportunity to finish, obviously a number of teams opportunity to finish in the top 4. And Fremantle having a bit of a hiccup last week, and a tough contract for them to finish top 4, but I guess they're capable because we never seem to know what's going to happen from week to week.
Yeah.
And you look at Carlton and Essendon, they've lost 4 out of the last 5, and both were in the top 4 not long ago.
Exactly. And then, so, with that in mind, we have 4, 5 or 6 games left for some teams. Who is starting this weekend? Who is it? I've got a question for you. Who do you think it is that could start a run now and win 4 in a row, 5 in a row, maybe 6 in a row, and go all the way? Because that's what it feels like. You never know. You never seem to know which team's going to bob up
and have that run.
Because we were, as I said earlier, we were questioning their performance, questioning their coach, regardless of which team it is.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden they'll have a string and they'll pop up in the top 4.
Well, interesting, mate. Great call, Philip, because GWS are the only team of 5 and zip from 5, right? The rest in the 8, the other 7 teams are 4 and 1.
Wow.
So we could argue that they're already on the run.
Yeah. But which team's going to continue? I think that's where Philip's at, is who's going to have this run that's going to take them through. I mean, the perfect example was the Bullies in 2016 when they, I think, finished 7th and had to go to WA and then had to go, I think, New South Wales, and then they just kept winning. And that winning streak took them through right to win a grand final.
So I reckon the Hawks are best placed because in the next 2 games, they've got the Tigers and they've got the Kangaroos.
Yeah, only thing I'll say about that is I reckon sometimes you want tougher games going.
Yeah, no, that's true. But then you go, okay, you want tough games. GWS has had as tough a run as anyone. They've got Freo, and then they've got the Bulldogs.
So that's probably almost, if you can win those 2, that's almost an ideal run in.
Arguably, Port Adelaide. Showdowns are always 50-50, but 0-3 their last 3.
And
a game
away.
in Fremantle away.
So that's a beauty too.
Dockers have got GWS and Port Adelaide at home. So, yeah, wide open. And then Geelong, you'd think they'd get over St Kilda and you'd get over West Coast.
I think to Philip's point is, whatever you're thinking now, stop it and throw it in the bin.
Flick it up, toss a coin and
throw
hope.
it away. It's a waste of time because anything's going to happen in this next 2 weeks and change
this
all
is
of
the
our
thing.
thought process.
Carlton and Essendon, everyone was booking their finals tickets. Now they've lost 4 out of the last 5 and both are currently in 9th and 10th on the ladder.
I think the AFL might have been doing something similar. I reckon they were looking probably 5-6 weeks ago going, oh, it could be a bumper September. Collingwood, Essendon, Carlton all in there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now you've got Sydney. Your top 3 or your top 4 are interstate teams, followed by 2 of the next 4.
Yeah, it's going to, I'll tell you what I like about it is exactly that. Whatever you're thinking today can change dramatically.
And you've got to feel for the Blues fans.
Oh,
because I don't think form's dictated the Blues fans. I think fitness has. Their soft tissue injuries are through the roof.
Yeah, it's definitely been crippling for them.
That's the management issue.
And it's been some really big names too. That's the thing that's really hurt, I think.
Yep.
So.
Speaking about this earlier today on 3AW was Andrew Dillon around interstate teams and MCG finals.
The way the ladder is now, and as you say, a lot could change. But right now, out of the top 8, you've got 5 genuine interstate teams: Sydney, Port, GWS, Brisbane, and Freo. I mean, depending on how their final positions end up in 2 weeks' time, it is quite possible we could go a significant chunk of September with no finals being played in Melbourne. Is that a good thing?
Look, it has happened before, Tom. I think back in 2005 or 2006, we had
Sydney West Coast.
Yeah, and we had 5 teams from outside of Victoria, and the teams you just called there, shows it's a national competition with Queensland, New South Wales, SA, WA, and Victoria all being represented. That said, I've got a ladder predictor on my phone that's got 3 MCG finals in the first week.
See what he's barracking for.
Trying to work out who he's going for, hey?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. And that's I remember back in, I think it was the end of 06, there was a meeting called of all the CEOs and presidents of the clubs in Victoria going, well, we haven't had a grand final with a Victorian winning team.
Since the Bombers in 2000. Yeah. So it was Brisbane, Port, Sydney, West Coast, and then Geelong flogged us.
Yeah, and that's that was the concern. It's probably raising its head again.
And the money, all finals revenue, goes to the AFL.
Isn't that interesting? 3 minutes to 5. We've got Caroline Wilson coming up after the news.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Ever had the feeling you're being watched online? Scammers are always looking for new ways to con you. They're criminals and they're clever. But Australian banks have joined forces in the war against them. Intelligence sharing between banks will identify new types of scams faster. A new payment system to ensure you pay the right person is being rolled out. Unique identity checks will defend against identity theft. And there'll be more double checks when you're paying someone new. Australian banks are working to protect you.
Set sail through the romantic rivers of France with Scenic and Phil Hoffman Travel. Explore the historic beauty of Normandy, the sun-dappled Seine River, the Bordeaux wine region and the spectacular south of France in all-inclusive ultra-luxury on board a scenic river cruise. Book now for included economy flights, plus bonus luxury hotel stay from $7,095 per person twin share. Offer ends August 30. T's and C's apply. Visit pht.com.au.
Now, you can go and buy a big brand expensive suit, but if it doesn't fit properly, what is the point?
And if you've decided to try and, like me, lose a little bit of weight, there's no point having something that looks like a big poncho.
Well, you'll look average. You'll feel average. It's just completely average.
But the
whole
good news
behaviour.
is I've got the answer for you, Tim. You already know this answer, but we'll say it anyway for all our listeners. Ignition for Men, Adelaide's home of Armani, Canali and Xenia. They specialise in more than top brand suits. They specialise in making you look and feel great about wearing them. And as we know, they can do little
linings,
fancy linings, perfect fits. I had 2 visits. One for initial, went away. They made it, came back. Little, cufflings and bits and pieces, ankles, the leg measurements, done. Walked out, brilliant.
That's what I loved about it. The process was incredible. It doesn't matter what size or
It's
shape
called
you are.
painless, Tim.
Correct.
Because a
Ignition
lot
for
of men don't like shopping, and I'm one of them.
Well, that's right. And the Ignition for Men make it easy. They tailor and fit the suits right to you. No other way around it. And it means you'll always feel comfortable. You'll look $1 million, and that's the best feeling of all. I did it on Saturday. Went out, tossed the coin at Alberton, and had the magnificent jacket that they've done for me.
Yes.
And took it off.
How many times are we showing people like you're selling second-hand watches?
Yeah, I've been doing quite a bit, actually. I've been going, hey, you want to buy a watch?
If you need a suit for work or any occasions, wedding, gala events, anything, your first stop must be Ignition for Men. It's just out of the city on 54 Paynham Road, Stepney, or visit ignitionformen.com.au.
Over 50 and ready to dive into something amazing? This is for you. We're planning for your future with 2 new over 50s lifestyle resorts in Goolwa and Encounter Bay. With our vision for world-class facilities and endless activities, your next phase of life could deliver your best years yet with pools, gymnasiums, bowling greens and more. Visit our new display centre at 1 Banfield Road, Goolwa North, or check out lakesideresort.com.au or oceanviewresort.com.au.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Rain increasing tonight down to 11, showers tomorrow 16. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home, with meals from just $12. Gotta love the Excelsior Hotel.
The 2 fishermen who perished off the coast of Kangaroo Island yesterday have been identified. Their boat was located upturned late afternoon at Cassini. David Neve and Rodney Ingram, both 65, were experienced boaties and professional anglers. KI Mayor Michael Pengilly says it's hit the community hard.
A sad feel around the island today, and all we can do is to gather round and assist those families as much as possible. The guy driving the boat knows those waters like the back of his hand, so it's just something's gone terribly wrong and the outcome's been tragic.
There's talk that fog may have contributed to the tragedy. The Whyalla Steelworks has left almost 50 workers go. 48 admin jobs have been axed, GFG Alliance blaming an extended downturn in the global steel market. These locals have told Seven it's not good for the town.
I'm disgusted because my son-in-law, the husband, works there.
Very important, yes. For jobs, work, money.
It's basically the guts of the place. It's always disappointing people lose their work and their livelihoods.
A former Rex Airlines employee says he hopes the airline can survive and rebuild. Administrators are looking for a buyer, and the federal government has now confirmed it will guarantee regional flights with the airline in the interim. This worker was one of the 600 who lost their job when the airline collapsed. He says some people are doing it tough as they wait to be paid money they're still owed.
I trust I will because of what's been said with the government, but, you know, I like to be positive and hopefully that it's guaranteed in the long run. I don't know when it's going to happen.
A clubhouse belonging to outlaw bikie gang The Descendants has officially been declared a prescribed place. It means any member who's found on the property could face up to 3 years jail. The unit on Research Road at Paraka is the fourth in SA to be listed, joining other bikie properties at Pondy and Mount Gambier. Premier Peter Malinauskas says illegal activity by bikies will not be tolerated in our state.
We make this decision principally in the name of community safety. We definitively know that outlaw motorcycle gangs are responsible for much of the organised crime that occurs in the state of South Australia.
Ukrainian forces are gaining momentum as they continue their incursion into Russia, taking 100 troops captive. A state of emergency has been declared south of the Kursk region. It marks Kiev's most significant incursion since Moscow's invasion began. And the house from the 1980s movie Poltergeist has hit the market in Southern California. The four-bedroom home was built in 1979. The asking price is $1.17 million. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Collect the new shrouded Fable Pokemon trading cards at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
It's selection night for the Crows and Port ahead of Showdown 56 on Saturday night. Riley Thilthorpe has agreed to terms on a 3-year contract extension to remain at the Adelaide Footy Club until he becomes a free agent at the end of 2028. Well, a vote of confidence in Port Adelaide's AFLW coach, Lauren Arnell, has signed a 1-year contract extension, keeping her at the club until at least the end of 2025. She's feeling confident as the team enter its third season in the league.
I think there's some, KPIs and measures within games that you can take around improvement, and then the win-loss stuff will speak for itself as well. So win-loss will be a key measure for us this year, as well as, how much more professionalism can we unlock from a youngish group.
Former Australian cricket captain Tim Payne has been named the Adelaide Strikers' new coach. He takes over the reins from Jason Gillespie. And Scott Ninnis has released a statement today after being sacked as 36ers coach on Monday. He confirms the matter is now with his legal team. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Aged 45 to 49, search Australian Government free bowel screening kit and order yours today.
At Salisbury, hard to crash. Main North Road near the Grove Way. Damp roads with passing showers. Take it easy on the drive home. Look out for works at Crayfors West. The tunnels in Marbarker Road. Down at 40 at Ascot Park. Dawes Road near Joy Street with a camera to Kettleville Terrace at Kent Town. Winter, our way. With a last-minute getaway. Romance the cold with the hottest deals on accommodation and experiences. Visit southaustralia.com/holiday-deals. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 11 tonight with rain increasing. Showers tomorrow 16. Saturday showers 16. Sunday partly cloudy and 17. Right now it's 21 degrees. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
I'm Kate Collins. Tonight, search for answers. 2 fishermen killed in a Kangaroo Island boating tragedy. We show you the Northern Suburbs building police say is a hidden bikie clubhouse. The Telstra profit slide likely to leave customers paying the price. And take a look at the new high-tech supermarket trolley that calculates your bill as you shop. 9 News, your news, nightly at 6 on 9 and 9 now.
Suzuki is celebrating 40 years of Swift with an all-new Suzuki Swift Hybrid. With enhanced styling, safety and technology, plus a very swift hybrid engine. It means that the fun can last forever. So book a test drive today in Australia's best value hybrid, the all-new Suzuki Swift Hybrid. For fun's sake.
Tired of waking up tired? IKEA can help. Start building a more sleep-friendly space with IKEA, the one-stop shop for snoozing. So wake up. It's time to sleep. Make it happen at ikea.com.au.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
7 after 5, Tredders here for Rowie with Timmy G. Showdown team selection Thursday it is. And still to come, we have Crows and Port Adelaide's Showdown teams at 5:50. So within the hour, we will have those selections for you. Daniel Garb still to come to chat Premier League, which starts on Saturday. We have Olympic gold medalist Keegan Palmer to join us and Roosters coach Jacob Surjan as well. But right now, it's time to welcome in a favourite. It's been far too long.
Caroline Wilson. Thanks to Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. Cooking appliances, washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more. 919 Marion Road, Marion.
And we're just going to ease you back into it, Caroline Wilson. You've got Warren Treadray replacing Stephen Rowe while he's overseas. You come back from Europe. He goes
a high five on the
Europe.
way past.
Yeah, exactly.
Out of the frying pan into the fire. Well, last time I spoke to Warren, I was very critical of him, but I'm happy to see, and I'm sure Warren is true that too that his team's come good in that time.
Well, they're playing well. It's good.
Yes, it's been.
No
we were just
complaints
talking
here.
about the form of different teams. It's been very interesting. But how was the trip? Let's just get a little snapshot of what the Caro Euro trip was like.
Oh well, Tim, I have 2 of my 3 children live in London, so it began there. My husband had a bit of time on the golf courses of the UK before I arrived.
It's good of him.
Smart.
We rented a house in Cornwall for a week with family, which was wonderful, little fishing village. Travelled around the west coast of England, lots of walking, big hikes, over to France, down the Atlantic coast of France, ended up in San Sebastian in Spain, fabulous place. Back to England, caught up with a few. I lived in London as a journo in the 80s.
Right.
And so I caught up with lots of old friends, travelled to Kent and Oxfordshire, and I went and saw Cabaret at the Kit Kat Club. No, lots of adventures. Thank you, boys.
Fantastic. Well done and well
And
deserved.
all the while, I just kept putting my footy tips in and watching the results and saying, my Lord, what is going on?
Well, that was the thing. And we just spoke to one of our callers just explaining, like, whatever's happened in the last month doesn't necessarily mean what's going to happen in the next month. A lot of clubs have been getting on either good runs or bad runs and then been able to turn it round or fall away.
Look, it really reminds me of 2016, Tim. I mean,
Yes. Open.
Anyone can win this premiership out of the top. Probably not outside the teams outside the 8, even though I don't think the 8 will stay the way it is. But I think that look, GWS, one of the favourites. Port Adelaide could finally get a premiership for Ken Hinkley. Obviously, Brisbane now seem in the box seat. Sydney still deserve to, be up there, and Geelong, Geelong have sort of bobbed up again. So it's quite extraordinary what's going on. We've all had to, all the 8 journos today had to say where we thought the 8 would finish up.
Wow.
And it was really difficult.
Good luck with that one. Hey, Melbourne, we were just saying they've got trouble bubbling everywhere, it seems. But what Dan Houston, we're hearing the rumours here that that's one of the clubs that trying to court him over there.
Well, every day it gets worse for Melbourne. Since their last disappointing performance, Dan Houston is telling people that he's changed his mind about. I mean, Melbourne was his desired club, and that was as recently as mid-July.
Right.
And it's changed. I think he's looking elsewhere now. Obviously, we know that Alex Neil-Bullen wants to go home to South Australia, and the Crows seem to think they're in the box seat there, but I'm not writing off Port Adelaide at the moment. And you've got Christian Petrarca. It's absolutely true that he's frustrated with the lack of professionalism at the club. And there's a huge disappointment from a lot of, Melbourne players that just at some of the decisions that were made. The decision to lose Brodie Grundy after everything the club went through to get him, with Max Gawn now looking vulnerable, as he gets older. All the problems that Melbourne, was suffering from 2 years ago, nothing has really changed. They're still looking for a key forward. It's just, I think, look, Simon Goodwin has been criticised. His game plan has been criticised. I think it goes a lot wider than that, and I really do think there are going to be changes in the footy department at Melbourne. But funnily enough, Andrew McWalter has emerged as one of the as a contender anyway for the West Coast coaching job. And it is true that West Coast are looking at McWalter, who of course was started under Ross Lyon and was the caretaker coach at Richmond last year. Probably would have been more of a chance for that job. Caretaker coach is sort of the most. I reckon it's the most Moz position in footy. I don't know about you two, but there was a period when a few of them got the job and none of them worked out. So that is going to be fascinating. But I think Melbourne will go through a thorough review, and I think that they're going to look at everyone in that football department because the standards have gone down. Even the suggestion on Footy Classified on Monday night that they could have done a bit more to get Stephen May off the ground earlier when he hurt his ribs. I just think that the club is going... I think Gary Pert's comments about its culture are probably now resonating, and I think I know what he meant when he said it, but I think he'd take those words back now. You
touched on the coaching job, and you say McWalter. Schofield looks like he's doing a pretty good job, and Montgomery's name's been mentioned. Two former teammates of mine who Monty's at GWS Scoey, obviously the caretaker. Where does it sit right now? Because all the big names that they've on the so-called hit list have said no, they're going to stay where they are.
I think it's really interesting, Warren. I really mean this. Now, clearly, being an AFL coach is the pinnacle for a lot of former players and assistant coaches. But at the moment, it is not the most attractive job in footy, and bizarre when you think that they're a wealthy club. They're going to do, they're going to get some good draft picks. They've certainly got enough money to go over their soft cap. It's a wonderful job being an AFL coach and certainly coaching West Coast because you're backed by everyone. But why is it that all the original names that were mentioned when Adam Simpson finally left, why is it that not one of them is prepared to go over and put his hand up and try out for the job? I mean, for Ashley Hansen not to want to do it, maybe he thinks he needs to do a bit more work. Ben Cox, I think, would have been very, very short price favourite. Jamie Graham. I just find it extraordinary. I understand Nathan Buckley, who's got family circumstances, but I find it extraordinary that no one wants to do it. I personally think to go for Schofield would be a mistake. I think they need to change a lot of things at that footy club. I'm not knocking him, but I think I think he needs to do a bit more work. But you're certainly right that he's in the frame at the moment. And who was the other one you said? Brett
Montgomery.
Brett Montgomery. Yeah. Well, I think he's now one of the favourites.
Interesting, isn't it?
There you go. Collingwood, Graham Wright, is he headed for the AFL? All reports, he's pretty highly rated, isn't he, in what he does?
He is highly rated, but the club has made a decision, in my view, that he's not coming back. And I've just heard this, and I can't confirm it, Tim, but I keep hearing that the AFL are looking for more experience in footy. This is no knock on Laura Kane, but she has taken on a huge job, and as does anyone who takes on the AFL footy job. But she's significantly younger than anyone who has done that job before, and she doesn't have a hugely experienced, well, they're experienced former footy people from clubs working underneath her, but she's also taken on the AFLW. I mean, I know that a new boss of AFLW has started at the AFL, but her role is more commercial, marketing, brand management, etc. So it is a massive job that Laura Kane has taken on, and they've had Jeff Walsh in there working as a consultant, but only part-time. And I think I'm interested to hear that the AFL are looking at perhaps someone else coming in to bolster that team. And Graham Wright, I don't think will go and work full-time for Tasmania, although they have looked at him. I think that job will go elsewhere. And he's a Tasmanian, of course.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing, as every day goes on, I'm more convinced that he's not going to go back to Collingwood. I think Justin Lepich will remain as list manager. The job he's taken on in an interim basis while Graham Wright was overseas on sabbatical. Graham Wright and Craig Kelly, of course, old premiership teammates, but I think Craig Kelly now is thinking that it's time for Graham Wright to move on, and not that, they don't think he didn't do a brilliant job, because he made some brilliant decisions, but I think there's a few in list management at recruiting at Collingwood who are having the finger pointed at them at the moment after some of the decisions they made at the end of last year. But in my experience, when you win a flag, that is quite often when clubs make poor decisions at list management, because you overrate certain players and you sometimes can make emotional decisions. So I think that Graham Wright is definitely going. I'm not sure Brendan Bolton will be there next year, who's been the stand-in footy manager. And I think
he looms, doesn't it, for that one? I've heard a whisper.
Yeah, I've heard that too, Warren.
Yeah. We're moving on to Neil Baum. Done a wonderful job at Richmond. His celebration has been postponed.
Yeah, tomorrow was going to be a fabulous day, and there still will be a fabulous day, but unfortunately Neil had a bit of a health scare. He's okay, but there was a function that Richmond had been planning for some time, and it's a real pity, boys, because obviously there was a big Norwood contingent coming, there was a big Geelong contingent coming, there was a big Melbourne contingent coming, a big Collingwood contingent coming, and, he had relative degrees of success at all those clubs, but particularly Norwood and Richmond, and of course at Geelong, where he moved in as footy boss, and they proceeded to win 3 flags. I think he was there for all 3 of those flags from 007 to 2011. And I just think he went for a regular checkup and probably dodged a bullet. He's absolutely fine, but he unfortunately wasn't able to be there tomorrow, which is a great pity. Richmond will reorganise it, but the timing's going to be a bit more difficult now, obviously, because we're getting close to the finals. So an enormous pity, and a function that a lot of people in footy were really looking forward to. It will happen, but not right away.
Yeah, well, let's hope he's okay. That's the main thing. Hey, Caroline, the unique homestyle food texts just keep rolling in. One came from Sam, just said, could Don Pike coach the West Coast?
No, Don Pike won't be coaching West Coast, but he is a new CEO, and a very new CEO. And I think that's another thing. I think when a club's got a new CEO, there are some question marks over. I'm not saying he's not going to be a very good CEO, but about the stability at the club. They have a weird sort of board situation there where they rotate their presidents very quickly, and Paul Fitzpatrick, who's done a pretty good job, is finishing at the end of the year. So, actually, I take that back. I think they made a decision keeping Adam Simpson for another year. I think they should have acted quicker. I think they really lost a year there, but that's just a personal view. Not one. I think it's probably one shared by many. So, but I think it's a pity he's leaving. So maybe that's what's concerning people as well. But no, I think Don Pike has made the decision that he wants to have a real crack at being a chief executive. It would be a fascinating decision, wouldn't it, though?
Yeah,
to go from one thing back to another.
I've had a look at all the candidates, and I've decided that I'm the best one. So that would be interesting.
And I'm going to pay myself this much. I'm going to do both roles, CEO and coach.
No, he's a pretty intelligent bloke. He'd probably be able to do both. But good to have you back, Caroline. Appreciate it.
will Port Adelaide finally win a showdown, Warren?
Hope so.
A bit overdue, Caroline, to say
Yeah,
the
we're
least.
0-3 from the last three, but just waiting for those teams to drop pretty soon because Georgiades' injury a week ago was not ideal and Marshall concussion. So my big worry is what we do forward and interest, probably more so than worry, who we're going to play. But it's up to us to deliver.
In the meantime, everyone seems to want to go and play for either Adelaide or Port Adelaide at the moment. Fascinating, isn't it? Lukosius is the latest, and obviously Alex Neil-Bullen.
It's better than the other way, Caro.
More to play out, I'm sure.
Done.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Caroline Wilson. All thanks to the Harvey Norman Clearance Centre. From cooking appliances to washing machines, dishwashers, TVs and more, there's new stock arriving weekly, all with manufacturer's warranties. Harvey Norman Clearance Centre, 919 Marion Road, Marion.
Outstanding. 21 after 5, let's check your traffic.
Crashes always Reese to look out for on the drive home. Main North Road near the Grove Way. If you're passing showers, so some damp roads on the drive home, take it easy. A little slow for works at Crayfors West. The tunnels near Mount Barker Road and getting busy at the moment. Tapley's Hill Road at Glenorg North, just near Anzac Highway. Camera this afternoon, Fisher Street at Myrtle Bank. Glenorg BMW, Adelaide's independent family-owned BMW dealership, situated at 141 Brighton Road, Glenorg South. Experience excellence at Glenorg BMW. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Problem? We have a Houston.
Houston, snap on goal!
Port Adelaide lethal leg Dan Houston joins David and Will each week on 5AA Breakfast, thanks to Barreau Hotels. For the perfect meal, visit the Birkenhead Tavern, Excelsior, or Lighthouse Wharf. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or electrician, call Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Local and experienced trade specialists.
Or a plumber or electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
Don't just send it, ace it.
If your current job is driving you bonkers, get outdoors and hit the road. ACET Transport Solutions is growing and they need more drivers to keep their promise of perfect service. So, if you want a career that'll take you places, get in touch with the team at ACET Transport Solutions. Visit acettransport.au.
Don't just send it, ACET.
I'm putting this out to the universe. So, are you watching the footy this weekend with a house full of mates?
Of course you are. It's Showdown weekend. So why not pick up the phone today and give the magnificent folks at Chanella's a call to order some equally magnificent platters to feed the flock.
I'm telling you, I've seen the platters. They are magnificent. It is no understatement. We have Chanella's provide platters here at 5AA for some of our events. I just can't wait. I'd sort of pick at it before the guests get here. But
you lift up the plastic and then just put and then move it around a bit so it doesn't look like you've stolen much.
Correct.
And then you end up taking too many and it looks like there's too many gaps in the platter. Is that what you're saying?
That's how good the platters are at Chanella's. I'm telling you, always blown away with the choice, rich, full flavours Chanella's are famous for.
Yeah, from salami, prosciutto, vegetarian dip platters to arancini balls, fruit platters, vegan-friendly platters, hot seafood platters, sweet platters, cheese platters, much more. All lovingly prepared by the chefs at Chanella's.
So don't be silly. Jump onto Chanella's website and order in-store, online, or go in-store today.
Hi, Brady Bitt here from Mawson Lakes Mazda. There's a lot to like about Mawson Lakes Mazda. They'll take care of you with next-day servicing, complimentary loan car, vacuum and wash, and your breakfast or lunch is on them. Your car gets a love too, with their state-of-the-art service centre, brimming with top-trained mechanics. At Mawson Lakes Mazda, they'll look after your car and look after you. Mawson Lakes Mazda, just a short drive from the city.
Here at 5AA, we're all about supporting local. Observatory 23, Adelaide's newest destination for all events, big or small, like weddings, birthdays, conferences and meetings. Head to observatory23.com.au.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
We're due to get one back. Great time to get one back this time of year. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a big game. They're in great nick. Our home game, so hopefully we've got a big crowd there with a lot of fans. And we're looking forward to a big challenge.
Yeah, Travis spoke there speaking on 7 News at 26 minutes after 5, which means we are inside half an hour away from hearing who the Crows and Power will name for Showdown 56 with their team selection at 10 minutes to 6. That's coming up, and we're going to do a massive Showdown preview tomorrow with a Showdown edition of the 5AA Sports Show live from the Sporties Bar at the Arca Bar. If you want to join us, it's going to be a fantastic program because we have a full panel. We have Timmy G, Warren Tredders, Scotty Camporeale, and Crows legend Scotty Thompson all there, 4 till 6, massive show. Beers on arrival, we'll have tickets to the Showdown, 5AA locker room tickets to give away, and we'll preview everything Showdown. So make sure you're there. Sporties is Adelaide's home of live sport. Take your sporting entertainment to the next level at Sporties at the Arca Bar, Friday from 4.
Yeah, they've refurbished. I went there not long ago, and I enjoyed it.
Good setup.
I always have enjoyed it. But
you
it
always
was like,
enjoy it.
There it is again.
There's beers and betting
and people to talk to.
Snitties and people. You're at home.
Tell a few stories, a few gags.
Just
laugh,
bring your
laugh at
fringe
my
show
own.
back.
Exactly. Hey, you just heard Boki then, talking about the Showdown and the like. It is one of those things. We see Pendlebury playing 400. He's going to go again.
Yeah, and Sidebottom I think is going to go again. And you
Sidebottom.
look at Collingwood's over 30s. The old days it used to be dirty 30 and clubs would try and
it's
retire
true.
you. Now they want to not even dirty 35.
Well, it depends on your list and what balance it is, but Boki's found a home on the wing. Just have a listen to what he thinks his longevity is.
I could keep playing until I can't walk anymore, but certainly the body and the mind gets tested as you get older, and that's certainly the case, but right now I'm still enjoying it.
I wouldn't suggest that, Tim.
Which bit?
Playing till you can't walk anymore. It's probably not great for life after football.
Yeah, true.
Considering he'll, be in his 30s when he eventually retires, or maybe 40s. Who knows how long he can go. But, yeah, I think with his future, it'll be like it was last year, wouldn't it? You know, it was decided in a meeting with Ken Hinkley and the list management crew at the end of the season, Chris Davies, and they all decided both he and Charlie Dixon were in a similar situation. It's only with the clarity of the season end where you'd look at probably making that decision. And Trav would want to play as well as he could and then consider that option at the end of the year, I'd assume, because that's what happened last year. I assume that it'll probably be similar this year.
He does remind me of an old teammate of mine that played about 500 games.
Who's that?
Craig Bradley.
Oh, yeah. Kept going.
Bradle's ability he was a bit like Boki in that their preparation and making sure that they're 100% ready for every time they either train, play, wake up, you name it, was exceptional. And Craig Bradley was way ahead of his time. I was only, I think, 18 or 19, and my mate Wayne Marnie and I were coming around the boundary line after training, and we're watching him, and this is after training, and he's doing all these stretches and things, and we're looking at him and said,
what are you doing?
What's he doing? So I walked up to him and said, what are you doing, Braddles? He said, my partner Donna's a dancer, and they reckon that the warming down is as important as warming up.
Yeah, so what were you and Marnes doing back then?
Having torps for goal outside of the boundary line.
Straight for a pint,
rolling,
the old pork
rolling through the mud. We used to put the ball up into the mud puddles and dive in it and see if we could take the mark. And idiots.
Yeah, well, see, this is the thing. The professionalism bit is the minimum I'd expect, and maybe a bit grumpy old man with that. Like you go, well, that's why they're being paid as athletes.
Yeah, but they're way over the top.
But is it over the top? I think that's what you need to be doing to be great. If you want to deem to play in your 30s, you've got to do that.
But they've also got that gift of.
The other bit is too.
It's what they've been given.
Tell me the last time you've remembered Boki getting a serious injury, other than a couple of injuries last year.
Yeah.
He had groin issues early days, and he's had to manage that. But he hasn't.
But his
touch wood. He and Braddles haven't had broken jaws or knee
pretty,
reconstructions or they've been sort of fortunate, but also made their own luck with it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Professionals love them.
Definitely. So is Keegan Palmer, an Olympic gold medalist in the men's skateboard park a couple of weeks ago in Paris. He's going to join us after the headlines.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Good evening, Mel Usher with the latest news headlines. The state government has ramped up its crackdown on bikie gangs. There's been a fiery debate in federal parliament over the opposition's call for a temporary pause on migration from Gaza. The wraps have come off this year's Royal Adelaide show bags, and in sport, the teams for Showdown 56 will be announced in the next half hour. Now, checking 5AA traffic.
Aged 45 to 49, search Australian Government free bowel screening kit and order yours today.
Afternoon, crash getting cleared up at the moment at Salisbury Heights. Few residual delays, but nothing too bad. Main North Road in the Grove Way. Down roads with a few residual showers passing through, and we've got some activity at South Brighton, making things slow at the moment to Brighton Road near Broadway. Busy South Road at Edwardstown with the camera Penfold Road at Wattle Park. Spend and save at Fantastic Furniture. Spend $500, save $60. Spend $1,000, save $150. Spend $2,000, save $400. In-store only, T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast, rain increasing tonight down to 11, showers tomorrow 16. Right now it's 22. We'll have more news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
It's SA's ultimate rivalry, and this week it's Showdown Week. Join myself, Tredders, Campo and Crows legend Scott Thompson this Friday, live from Sporty's Bar at the Arca Bar for a very special Showdown edition of the 5AA Sports Show. We'll have free beers on arrival, heaps of prizes as we preview all the things Showdown in the lead up to the big game. Sporty's is Adelaide's home of live sport. Take your sporting entertainment to the next level at Sporty's in the Arca Bar Hotel. We'll see you Friday from 4 p.m.
Happy birthday to you! 1, 2, 3.
There's a good reason so many people celebrate their birthday at the Dutch Pantry Cafe. A whole menu of authentic Dutch food for brekkie, brunch or lunch. Think of classics like croquettes, mini Dutch pancakes and Dutch pea soup, along with chip cones and Biscoff milkshakes. However old you're turning, celebrate at the Dutch Pantry Cafe. OG Road, Clemzig, open 7 days. Look for the big windmill.
It's showtime at FIVEAA Hyundai. The best time to get your car serviced with free parking, complimentary $25 food and drink coupon, and a free car wash and vacuum. Change the way you Hyundai at FIVEAA Hyundai, opposite the showground.
You'd remember this name, Right Price. Right Price, heating and cooling. Yeah, that one. It's a name synonymous with Adelaide's very best in heating and cooling, but it's now risen to whole new heights, and that's literally too, because Right Price are now your go-to people for all things roofing.
Can you sing that, Timmy?
Right Price, all things for roofing. Same exceptional service, value, quality, and now they're in roofing.
Oh, gosh, I didn't think you'd take the back. Well, I sort of did. Right Price Roofing, you can do it all, from total roof replacement, including tiled roof installations, to tile roof repairs and cleaning. In fact, the Right Price Roofing team has over 25 years' experience in roofing repairs and restorations.
Good point. They also provide roof painting. You'll love the result. And in typical Right Price fashion, they only use quality roofing products in everything they do.
And this is the bit I love too. For peace of mind, Right Price Roofing will give you a rock solid quote. None of this, oh yeah, it should be about this much. They'll lock it down, don't worry about that. So the only surprise you get when the job is done is how magnificent your roof and home looks.
You just look at it. Oh, how good's that? Leaky roof, roof cleaning, total roof restoration. Do it right. Get in touch with Right Price Roofing. Visit rightpriceroofing.com.au.
With IGA's Community Give Back sale, you can make big savings.
And help support local causes. Look for tickets on specials like Omo Laundry Liquid Powder or Capsule varieties, $14 each, half price. Now at your local IGA. Offer ends August 20 while stocks last. Excludes Foodland and local grocer.
Delighted to have with me today Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop Real Estate. Bronte, is it fair to say Adelaide's property market is giving Melbourne a run for its money?
It is. Adelaide's median house prices have, for the first time ever, surpassed the $900,000 mark.
Which is astonishing. What's driving that growth?
Adelaide has maintained an affordable cost of living, accompanied by outstanding amenities and distinct lifestyle advantages when compared to other major cities. We've also seen significant local government investment in infrastructure that's boosting Adelaide's appeal as a place to reside.
So what does that mean then for those considering selling?
Now's the time. Here at Toop and Toop, we're backed by nearly 4 decades of real estate experience and a successful track record of fetching top-tier sale prices in this thriving market. For more information, visit our website, toop.com.au.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
25 minutes to 6. Jacob Surjan from North Adelaide to join us soon. We have Showdown team selection in 15 minutes. That is going to be intriguing. Who Port Adelaide and the Crows will select to replace Todd Marshall and, of course, Taylor Walker for their game on Saturday night at Adelaide Oval. And we got those tickets to give away, locker room tickets still. So stay listening if you want to head to the 5AA locker room for those Showdown tickets.
Well, Tredders, I tell you what, the Olympic spirit just keeps going, mate. It just keeps flowing.
We only speak to gold medalists.
Yeah. We're not that fussy, but I tell you what, we've got a two-time Olympic champion on the line. It is Keegan Palmer. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thanks, boys. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate it. Happy to be here.
Well, 17 years of age, well, you would have been 18 because it was 21 in Tokyo, but to win a gold medal would have been an extraordinary feeling. But to back it up, you're now back-to-back at 21.
Yeah, no, I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for me, you know, just being able to, the goal was really two-time Olympian, and then just the icing on the cake was really winning that other gold. It was really cool to be able to just, like, show everyone that the first one wasn't a fluke, and I was able to retain the gold, which is just an incredible feeling, and even be able to say that, it doesn't get much better.
No, I don't mean to be disrespectful. Forget about the gold, mate, but I'm hearing you met icon Tony Hawk and also Snoop Dogg. That one must have been an achievement in itself, let alone winning a gold medal.
Oh, 100%. I mean, yeah, dude, we had, like, Devin Booker, like, famous basketball player there. We had Snoop Dogg cheering us on, and then, like, I've known Tony over the years now, so to have him there as well was even cooler, and you know, half the tricks we do in our runs and stuff he invented, so it's pretty cool to have one of the goats in skateboarding watching us, that's for sure.
It's culturally huge in the US, isn't it? And
it's huge.
For you guys to bring that over to the Gold Coast, and of course yourself and young Arissa, True, to win the gold medals from the same place, it's quite a unique situation.
Oh no, it's such a unique situation, you know, because we come from a place that doesn't have the greatest bowls in the world compared to like Sydney and Melbourne, and you know, being able to both of us win that gold was pretty amazing. You know, watching her do it the day before me was pretty inspiring. It was pretty exciting, and I was just like telling myself I got to get her back, just to be able to say what I'm able to say now. Just saying we both got to win a gold for the skating Eleonora and Lise for the Gold Coast. You know.
So when you were at Tokyo and you win, and what's the difference between the win first time, the win second time? Is the experience something that you took on and went, nah, I can do this because I've done it once before, and that euphoria of breaking through and winning gold for the first time? How do you compare the two?
I mean, I would say the first one was really huge just for my like career and life. So, you know, that was a real big breakthrough for me. But, you know, being able to like back it up and show that I'm still the best, you know, 3 years later is pretty cool, just because the first like year and a half after I won in Tokyo, I kind of like disappeared off the face of the earth. I kind of just went and did my own thing. I kind of was just relaxing and stuff, and then didn't do well in a few contests just because all eyes were on me, and I wasn't really used to that. But, you know, there's been a bunch of good learning experiences leading into Paris. So to be able to achieve another one after all like the ups and downs I've had over the last few years, it was definitely a surreal feeling.
You mentioned Tony Hawk pretty much invented half the stuff you're doing nowadays. You know, he was a generation setter. You're now becoming a generation setter for young Aussies. What does that mean to you in terms of giving back to that next generation?
I mean, dude, it's an honor to be able to say that I'm helping start the new wave of skateboarding, you know, like I've been saying, I just think it's funny too, because I'd love to do well in the next few Olympics, but I just got to make sure I keep up with the younger generation, make sure the tricks that I'm learning and doing are also up to the standards of everyone else. And I think it's going to be very interesting to see, just because it's quite a cool thing about skating is it's a lot of art, and it's like drawing on a canvas almost, where people can create their own lines and their own tricks in a way that it's like drawing on a piece of artwork.
Hey, Keegan, have you been able to look back on it and have a listen to the Aussie commentators calling yourself and Arissa?
Oh, yeah.
How good were those blokes?
No, yeah, so I've known Mitch Tomo since I was about 6 years old. He actually gave me my first sponsor when I was a baby growing up in Australia. So to be able to have him commentate me, almost 15 years later is pretty awesome. And then Nick Vizzero I've known over like the last few years, but Mitch Tomo and stuff I've known since I was about a baby pretty much.
I loved them. They were so entertaining, but I started to sort of try and get in on the lingo. And the one that I thought just amazing, but your kick flip body viral 540. But it's never been nailed in a major comp. You did it.
Yeah, no, that was like the big four for skating, in Tokyo, and seeing all the kids at this next one doing that trick too as well was pretty exciting, and that's like going to be the hardest thing I think for a lot of people is to understand the kind of the tricks and flips and stuff like that. It's almost like all the gymnastic spins and stuff. Like when I hear people talking about that, I'm like, what? What?
How's the goal changed your life? Obviously now number 2. Go from being, as you say, you signed your first endorsement deal or get some gear from someone many years ago to now being a dual gold medalist and by all reports says here you might be moving back to southeast Queensland now. How has it changed your life?
I mean, it's been an insane few weeks since I've won the gold. Like my social media has gone up like almost 40,000 followers.
Wow.
I was hanging with some of the sickest people on the island in Spain, and it was just it was crazy. Like I just never would have expected. I felt like I was on a movie set for the last 2 weeks.
So what's next? Are you obviously one of the Olympics is now done. You've got a gold medal around your neck. You'll put that up on the mantelpiece. And what's the next terms of competition, or do you have a break?
Actually, I leave Australia on the 17th, and I have a competition starting on the 20th to the 26th already. So. Back to it.
No rest for the wicked, as they say.
Yeah, no rest.
And one thing I picked up, Keegan, well, I thought the Olympics had a new level of spirit, and I'm talking about across all the sports and disciplines. I thought they were, everybody was incredibly supportive of one another. But I reckon it's a new level when it came to your sport. I thought both when Arissa won it, just 14 years of age, the camaraderie between those girls was amazing, and then you guys were like your best mates just going out down the park and having a great time and go, hey mate, well done, you landed that one, that was awesome. It was. Yeah. I thought there's real camaraderie there.
I mean, dude, I think it's rubbed off definitely a little bit through the other sports too, because I think everyone is so with their countries and so uptight when they're in their competitions. And I think the cool thing we're able to show in skateboarding is win or lose, we're really hyped for our friends because we were been competing against each other for the last, let's say, 12 years or so, and before the Olympics was even a thing for us. So the Olympics has really changed our friendships and our camaraderie along that lines, and it's slowly rubbing off into other sports that I'm seeing people are hyped for each other and stuff like that. So I think it's just a cool way of us expressing our feelings through skateboarding and our passion that we have for it. And if our friend beats us, we're hyped for him. If we beat them, I'm pretty sure he's hyped for me. So it's really cool.
You're talking about Los Angeles and of course Brisbane in your sides, but I like how this quote came out. I've got to make sure I keep up with this younger generation. You old timer, you, eh?
Yeah. No, I'm more what I'm implying about that is more just the younger kids are really starting to bring up the level in skating. Like you start to see it on social media and whatnot, doing all the tricks that has won me contests and stuff. So being able to stay unique and keeping that new level of skating, I'm just going to have to make sure that I'm keeping up if they're starting to do crazier spins and flip tricks and stuff like that, or I'll be at the forefront of it and they'll be trying to do the stuff that I'm doing. So that's kind of what I imply.
Oh, well, I'm looking forward to you being a ripe old veteran at the next Olympics at 25, mate. So, hey, mate, all the best. Well done. Congratulations on being the back-to-back gold medalist in the men's skateboard. Just absolutely awesome, mate. Well played.
Yeah, we are very, very proud of him, and that is outstanding for Australia. Showdown teams are going to drop on the other side of this break. It is 16 minutes to 6. Let's check your roads.
G'day there. Crash to look out for at Salisbury Heights, Main North Road to the Grove Way. Damp roads on the drive home, so take it easy after showers are passing. Got works at Crafers West to look out for. The tunnels near Mount Barker Road, and pretty busy at the moment south road at Thurberts in both directions. Cameras Mount Barker Road, Leeward Gardens, and Osmond Terrace at Norwood. Right now, when you buy a new or demo Ford Transit or Transit Custom, you'll get an amazing service offer at no extra cost. E-Transit excluded. See your Ford dealer now for full terms and exclusions. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
For the very latest in local footy, tune in to the 5AA Sandful Show each Monday from 6:30 p.m. It's tradition, it's excitement, and it's beats, eats, and footy fun with your mates. Sandful, nothing beats it.
Join Gliderol in celebrating the Colorbond Steal the Show promotion. By purchasing a roller door or sectional door made from Colorbond steel from Gliderol, now or within the last 12 months, you could win $100,000. Visit gliderol.com.au today for a free measure and quote. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply. See colorbond.com/steal the show, 18 plus only. Strict purchase and eligibility criteria apply. Ends 30/11/24.
If you're outgrowing your home, it could be time to select a granny flat. At Selector Homes, we've been building transportable granny flats for over 25 years. And now we can build them on a slab, which means your whole home and new granny flat are on the same level. No stairs and seamless living. Also, we can build to the perimeter of your block, saving you space. Fixed price, no hidden costs. Walk through the Haven Granny Flat at the Selector Homes Display Village, Port Wakefield Road, Burton.
It all started in the back shed. Maybe it started early or late. Either way, the Olympic Industry sale means there's no need to wait. With big savings on our entire range of SA engineered sheds, garages, carports and verandas, you can afford to start something big, tough or tasty in your own backyard. Start something with the Olympic Industry sale. On now.
Timmy, if you love cars, you're going to love a Mitsubishi.
Yeah.
And if you love a Mitsubishi, you're really going to love the Mitsubishi Triton.
Yeah.
You go, I want one of these, but I sort of don't have the tradie street cred.
It's a big beast.
Does it really matter?
Nothing
or can I just go and
you
get
can
one
get
anyway?
it still.
Yeah, but if you love the Mitsubishi Triton and you really love the brand new 2024 new generation Mitsubishi Triton.
Absolutely, especially if you're dealing with the legends at Agostino Mitsubishi. Brilliant people. They've been putting the smiles on the dials of Adelaide's Mitsi lovers for over 35 years. They're experts in exceptional service. Been out there, experienced it.
Well, this is good because, you know, you can treat yourself to a test drive of the new 2024 new generation Mitsubishi Triton, and you can see if you can resist snapping it up with this great deal they've got with 10 years warranty and 10 years cap price servicing. 10? I thought 5 was good.
10's unbelievable. Nobody matches this. Nobody. So hurry in and meet the team at Agostino Mitsubishi, Nailsworth, or the brand new state-of-the-art dealership at Agostino Mitsubishi Mawson Lakes. I'll tell you, that is a brilliant little drive out there to have a look at that stuff. So test drive the new 2024 Gen Mitsubishi Triton today.
See movies how they should be seen. Hear movies how they should be heard. All on the big screen with Quake Sound at Wallace. And now you can see them for less and enjoy candy bar discounts and other special member offers and freebies. Simply become a My Wallace member today. It's free, it's easy and it's full of benefits. Go to wallace.com.au and click on Join My Wallace today. Wallace Mitcham, Mount Barker, Nollunga and the Piccadilly. South Australia's home of big screen magic and entertainment.
Go full sport with Code Sports. Get every story and insight on your favourite sports, including NRL, AFL, netball, basketball, and more. Plus, access live scores, stats, match reviews, and video highlights on the teams you follow. Visit codesports.com.au.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
11 minutes to 6. Showdown tickets to give away very shortly. Stay tuned for that. We're going to talk Premier League with Daniel Garb in just a moment. And teams are going to drop in about 60 seconds, Timmy, so we'll get them to you in just a moment.
Oh, it's very kind of you, sir. Absolutely. Hey, I heard the boys on Brecky talking a little bit about this as well, but Andrew Dillon was sort of asked about the massive gambling industry that we all know about and get probably hammered with, actually, probably too much during games and the like. Problem is it's a massive number. I think it's around about 120 million
a year. They make
pumps
a year.
into AFL,
A year.
From the sponsorship.
Well, it's because anyone who's actually got a betting company, and if you bet off AFL, I think they get a clip of the turnover.
Yeah, so it's
and winnings.
But it it's just what they're worried about is we're raising a generation of
gamblers,
kids that are going to end up thinking it's the norm. So just have a listen to it's quite a dilemma. Just have a listen to it.
We're in consultation with the government at the moment in relation to proposed regulation. There has been too much advertising, I think, on TV and across radio. So we, over the journey, have self-regulated at AFL games. None of our teams have wagering providers on their jumpers or shorts. So what we want to do is work with the government to end up with regulation that balances the ability for the wagering providers. They are legal, but also make sure that we're not normalising or exposing kids to these ads. And I think that's the balance that the government's trying to work through.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and it's a real issue.
It's a massive issue.
And look, hey, put my hand up. I have a bet on the
you love to gamble,
GGs.
don't you?
Yeah, I bet on the GGs.
Gamble responsibly.
Tim and Terry's tips every Friday.
Yes, you do.
The rest of it,
but the other thing too, though, you look at the broadcasters who signed up for another 5-year deal starting next year, Channel 7 and Fox. There's gambling. They're one of their biggest spending clients,
advertisers,
and they run at a loss. So. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and ban that, then don't you need to revisit everything?
Hey, guys, the teams are dropped.
Yeah, some interesting news. So one change for both the Crows and one change for Port Adelaide. Somewhat predictable for Adelaide. Tex Walker goes out and Lachlan Gallant comes in after his 8 goals in the sample.
Understandable. And for Port Adelaide, Todd Marshall out with concussion protocols, and Ryan Burton, who was played forward in the sample last week, has taken that spot there. So maybe look at the flexibility of Ryan Burton as well, probably adds a bit to that selection, Warren Treadray.
Yes, as a forward as a kid, obviously not a forward has a huge amount in the AFL, but I think the opportunity right now is that he's getting a chance back in the team. He dropped out of the team through form. I think may have had injury. Now he gets a chance to say, "Hey."
First game since round 12, is that right?
A long time ago.
So he's going to play as a forward. Is that the
I
question
would
around
suspect
this?
he'd be the third tall on that.
Okay.
The thing about that,
you could move some magnets around, but I would think if he's played Sanford like Timmy said he played, then I would think that's like the Gallant, 1 for 1.
All right, interesting one. Have you say 8223 0000. We'll go over that again, but shortly. Thanks to Parafield Airport Liquor, home of the hardest to find wines, beers and spirits. Life's better with your pals, Simi.
Well, Tredders, the EPL season, it begins this weekend.
Come on, you Gunners.
Well, the Gunners have fallen short.
Twice in the last 2 years.
In the last 2. It's just been a bit unnerving for you. Mine, Liverpool, fell short again as well. But for Daniel Garb, the world game expert, he joins us now. Can you believe it's here?
I can, because I'm so used to how short the Premier League off-season is that I can.
It's wicked, isn't it?
It's still ridiculous. It feels even shorter this time around because we had the Euros and the Olympics. So that wait just didn't feel like it was even there because we were so occupied by massive sporting events, especially if you're a football lover with the Euros on. So, yeah, it feels a little bit shorter this time around, but it is the shortest pre-season of any in world sports, and it all gets underway again on this weekend.
In saying that, what would it be like for players? I don't know that they're getting a mental or physical break.
Euros, Ibiza, selfies, back to training. That's what it looks like on social media.
Yeah, unreal. It's not great, is it?
Yeah, if you play in a major tournament like the Euros or the Copa America, you don't get much of a break, but they get paid an absolute fortune, as we know. So they accept it and they get through it. I mean, their pre-seasons aren't as arduous, if that helps in a way. Yeah. Like, Tredders, I can imagine what AFL pre-seasons are like, and the long slog of running, and they don't have to go through as much of that because their fitness base doesn't drop off as much.
Yeah.
Because there's less of a break, and they play in competition, so maybe there's a silver lining there somewhere.
Yeah, a lot of skills-based stuff. Get your take, mate. Garby, Man City have dominated, probably, let's face it, for the last decade. Do we expect the same again? My Gunners had a crack, got close, no cigar. United look like they've spent. Ange's Tottenham. Chelsea, can they get their stuff together? What do you see?
Look, I mean, the easy answer is to say City win it again for a 5th season in a row and a 7th time in 8 seasons it would be. I honestly do think Arsenal will break through this season. I think Liverpool will be right up there as well. I think the Arnie Slot managerial change won't harm them too much. Everything seems pretty settled there. I think the likes of Villa will be strong. I think United will improve, and I think Spurs will get better as well. So I think there'll be more of a blanket thrown over the top 5 or 6 teams than there have been in the last 2 seasons. But I can see Arsenal breaking through now. They've gone close on a couple of occasions. There are similarities for me between the Gunners now and Liverpool when they broke their drought. Liverpool waited 30 years, had a couple of close calls against City, fell short, and then eventually did it. For Arsenal, it's 20 seasons as we speak. I mean, it is a long time. People don't speak about that Arsenal drought enough. And they've gone close on a couple of occasions. They seem settled. They don't seem broken by that. They actually seem galvanised by it. They've continued to add more players. I like the way Mikel Arteta is presenting in the pre-season in regards to their ambitions. And I think they've got the squad and the mentality and experience now from the last 2 years to just get it done. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen or it's going to be easy, but it just feels like that they might break through after a couple of close calls. But Arsenal are my tip, but it's going to be very difficult to do.
Well, it's pretty hard when a guy called Pep Guardiola, whilst he's backed unbelievably financially as some of the best players in the world, he's able to pull a rabbit out of the hat, isn't he? And we still can't forget the charges that City will maybe one day face. Is there any the latest on that, or do you just think City's just going to be back in contention and give it a shake like they always do?
It's hard to take any of that too seriously because, there was a story in the last week that those charges are set to be reviewed and something may come to a head. But even if they do, what do Man City do legally? They could hold it up in some world court for a period of time. So you can't sit there and occupy yourself too much with that because we've heard it on so many occasions for so long and nothing really of a substantial nature has come to the fore in regards to that. What I will say about City, and I guess the biggest hope for them in terms of winning it again and the biggest concern for all the other contenders is Erling Haaland. I mean, I still think he's an absolute phenomenon. I couldn't understand some of the criticism that he copped last season. He's just a master, and I don't think he was quite at his best in the last campaign. City having sold Julian Alvarez, I think this puts a lot of the pressure on Haaland again, but he will revel in that. And I think if he performs at his absolute best or goes to another level, which I think he can do, it's going to be very difficult for any other team to win it because he just possesses a threat unlike any other player in world football inside the box when he's up and going with his power and his physical attributes. So that is the one aspect, I think, of a Man City title defence that stands out for them more than anything else.
Hey, Garby, our own Ange Postecoglou, with his no-nonsense approach, finished 5th in the league last season. Is he sort of set the tone and expecting a lift again from 5th?
I think so. I think we always see that with Ange Postecoglou teams that, although he started ever so well last season, it's probably the one time where the narrative hadn't worked the way it has with Ange's teams in the past, where they start slowly and then adjust and go on big runs. They started really well and then they dipped. I still think they will improve overall. I think they will bed in a little bit better over the course of the season and perform at a slightly higher level throughout the entirety of the campaign. I think Dominic Solanke is a really good signing for them, and that's been the major bit of business done for Tottenham. Remember, they lost Harry Kane at the start of last season, not only their captain and their talisman, but the best striker in the league. So he goes out, and Solanke now comes in after not really having a true number 9 at the point of their attack last season. Richarlison had a good spell, but he doesn't have that same level of quality and consistency. Solanke scored 19 goals for Bournemouth last season. That allows Son to play more of a free role out wide and James Maddison to operate behind a proper number 9. So I think that'll be a shrewd signing, and that can help Tottenham hopefully push for a top 4 spot and knock on away.
You do beautiful work, Garby. Are you a single malt man?
Yes, I am. That would not go astray.
Well, you are a pal, my friend, so thanks to our good friends at Parafield Airport Liquor. We're going to get one of the finest single malts. They're great. They find all the hard-to-find wines, beers, spirits. Pals are our friends. They'll look after you, mate. We'll get it to you and really appreciate your time and your insights on the EPL.
No worries. Enjoy the campaign in Tredders. If the Gunners do win it, I want to see that famous Thierry Henry celebration somewhere on social media.
No, it'll happen. Might happen in Hindmarsh Square.
Yeah, I'm already
lovely.
I'm already blaming him for other bloody things he did that cost us games.
Let it go, mate.
Telephone.
Let it go. We'll all be better for it.
Daniel Garb, our guest.
Outstanding with Garby. He gives us everything we want. But what you would like, I'm sure, is a little bit more in depth, because after 6:30 tonight we'll be debuting Stephen Mork, Adelaide United's own South Australian great in soccer. He will be producing his very first football program on 5AA.
Awesome.
So 6:30 tonight. Make sure you're listening into the World Game with Stephen Mork. He'll go through everything local here in Adelaide, South Australia, the A-Leagues across the country, and of course everything global with the Premier League starting on the weekend. It is bang on 6 o'clock. Time for the news. We have more to come next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Rain increasing tonight down to 11, showers tomorrow 16. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Mel Usher.
The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home, with meals from just $12. Gotta love the Excelsior Hotel.
Kangaroo Island has been in mourning today for two beloved fishermen. David Neve and Rodney Ingram, both 65, went out on their boat yesterday and never returned. Jekyll's is their friend. He says the weather conditions took a turn in the afternoon with fog rolling in.
Then the fog cleared a bit and there's an upside down boat. I went, oh no. A great guy and a really good fisherman.
The professional anglers had spent many days on the water. The Mayor of KI says the double tragedy has hit the community hard. There are concerns today's job losses at the Whyalla Steelworks may not be the last. GFG Alliance has axed 48 admin positions, the company blaming an extended downturn in the global steel market. Police and the state government have announced a new crackdown on bikies in SA. The Descendants Clubhouse on Research Road at Paraka has been named a prescribed place, and any member who enters can be jailed for up to 3 years. Premier Peter Malinauskas says there are now 4 prescribed places in SA.
One at Pondy, one at Mount Gambier, home of Gypsy Jokers, home of the Hells Angels, respectively. So it isn't common. We've had the capacity to make these declarations ever since legislative change going back to 2015, and we know it does make a difference.
The redistribution of electoral boundaries in SA is happening again. The draft report proposes the boundaries are altered in 21 of the 47 electoral districts. David Gully from the Electoral Boundaries Commission says that's fewer than the previous shift.
Last time there were about 222,000 people that were in districts that were going to move. The boundary would move around them. They'd stay where they are, but the boundary would move. For this redistribution, it's around 44,500.
There's been a fiery debate in Parliament over the opposition's call for a temporary pause on migration from Gaza. More from Zach De Silva in Canberra.
The coalition has doubled down on its demand Australia stop granting visas to people fleeing the war in Gaza. Federal opposition leader Peter Dutton claims Palestinian refugees may pose a security risk. He's told Parliament the government isn't doing enough to screen people from the conflict zone before they come to Australia.
This Prime Minister has no shame. He's made our country less safe.
Mr Dutton's comments have been condemned by Labor, the Greens and Independent Zali Steggall. She says he's being deliberately divisive.
Stop being racist.
The government says screening processes haven't changed since Mr Dutton was in power.
And singer-songwriter Missy Higgins will be inducted into the ARIA Hall of Fame. 20 years after the release of her debut album, The Sound of White, Higgins will be honoured at this year's awards in Sydney. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
Collect the new Shrouded Fable Pokemon trading cards at Sports Card World, Regent Arcade, Rundle Mall.
The teams are in for Showdown 56 on Saturday. Adelaide has made one change. Lockie Gallant has been named, replacing the injured Taylor Walker. The Crows have won the past 3 showdowns, the most recent a 30-point victory in round 8 this season. There's also one change for the Power, with Ryan Burton to replace Todd Marshall in the 23. Marshall is in concussion protocols. North Melbourne coach Alistair Clarkson says Harry Sheasel won't face the Dogs on Sunday as he deals with an ankle injury.
Unfortunately, I have to rule Shees out. It's not right this week. We'll wait and see how he is for next week, but just too much of a push to try to get him right. He's just a slight ankle, but he hasn't missed a game for us, Shees. It'll be different not having him out there. But, yeah, we want to look after him well. He's a really important player for us.
George Wardlaw returns after being sidelined with concussion. And Tim Payne has been named as Jason Gillespie's successor as Strikers coach. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Aged 45 to 49, search Australian Government free bowel screening kit and order yours today.
G'day there at Waterloo Corner, a crash, Heaslip Road near Diamond Road. Got a burst water main to look out for at Seaton Grange Road near Kingbourne Avenue. Damp roads with passing showers, take it easy on the way home. And look out for works at Crayfus West, the tunnels near Mount Barker Road. Camera 2, Mount Barker Road at Leewood Gardens. Quitting smoking is hard, but so is heart disease, emphysema and mouth cancer. Choose your hard and choose to give up for good. Visit health.gov.au/give up for good. This message is brought to you by the Australian Government, Canberra. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA weather.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Rain increasing tonight down to 11, showers tomorrow 16, Saturday showers on 16 and 17 on Sunday. Right now it's 22. Now let's check what's happening on 9 News tonight.
Much on this weekend?
Thank you. On Breakfast
about a quick
tonight,
trip to
tributes for 2 veteran fishermen killed in a boating tragedy off Kangaroo Island. Authorities have moved on the Paraka Industrial Unit, declared an illegal bikies clubhouse, and concerns Telstra will hike prices after a slide in profits. And don't worry, you haven't missed the news. Start over on 9 now as soon as you're home.
Much on this weekend? How about a quick trip to Amsterdam? Dig into cones of Belgian fries topped with mayo, mini Dutch pancakes and indulgent Biscoff milkshakes. Stock up on authentic Dutch products, market-fresh produce and irresistible Dutch cakes made from scratch daily. Take a leisurely stroll past the windmill, admire the tulips and the Delft Blue. Visit Amsterdam this weekend at the Dutch Pantry. OG Road Clemzig, open 7 days. Just look for the big windmill.
This little shopper went to Aldi. This little shopper went home. This little shopper had an Aussie pork leg roast with crackling for only $7.99 a kilo. And this little shopper had none because she didn't shop at Aldi. The end. Aldi. Good different.
Beechwood Homes, Adelaide's leading bespoke home builder, that is, celebrating 35 years over that time. They've helped many hundreds of people realise their dream of building a home exactly how they envisioned it. That's the wonderful thing about building with Beechwood. There are no set plans, no set rules. All starts with a pen, a piece of paper, and your ideas, just like it did 35 years ago. Under construction right now is another Beechwood Homes masterpiece at Blackwood Park. The breathtaking display village will showcase Beechwood's dedication to cutting-edge design, craftsmanship, innovation, and to understand what people really want in their home they truly call their own. If you can call a dream, Beechwood Homes can build it. Life's good, even better in a Beechwood home.
Get cashback rebates on energy-saving appliances with Mac Trade Services. Receive up to $600 on eligible fridges, freezers or dryers, thanks to the South Australian Government REPS rebate. Simply buy an eligible appliance and complete the rebate claim form on our website. Visit mactradeservices.com.au or your local Harvey Norman store today.
Losing your grip on things? If painful and stiff hands are affecting the things you enjoy and everyday life, get in touch with GRIP. GRIP is a specialised hand and wrist practice with a team of highly qualified hand surgeons and therapists specialising in hand trauma, carpal tunnel syndrome, osteoarthritis, joint replacement, sports injuries, nerve pain and more. To get a grip on the life you loved before, free from hand pain, visit gripsurgery.com.au.
Streaming live via the 5AA Player app on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. This is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
8 minutes after 6. So, still to come before we wrap up at 6:30 tonight. Showdown locker room tickets. just stay by the radio and be ready to call in when Timmy's quiz gets underway, because they are tickets you do not want to miss. We'll take your calls as well, 8223 0000. But right now, Timmy, let's welcome in our next guest.
Absolutely. The sample season, I'll tell you what, you reckon the AFL season's close. This one is an absolute ripper. There's only 2 games to go, and the permutations are endless, let me tell you. And North Adelaide, well, they threw another little spanner in the works when they defeated Glenelg on the weekend, 103-75, and we got their head coach on the line, Jacob Surjan. G'day, Surge. How are you, mate?
Gentlemen, thanks for having me, Timmy and Woz. It's great to be on the show, boys.
Good. And you know what? Before we go any further, sir, I want to do this.
Happy 60th.
Yep. Yeah, thanks, lads. Getting older. I was talking to my wife, Ali, about it the other day. I've actually spent more of my life now in Adelaide than I have in Perth. So when do I cross that border of, not being a West Australian anymore? Like, am I officially South Australian now? What is it?
No, there's a bit of that, but West Coast is looking for a senior coach, mate, if you wanted to go back and become a West Australian.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you never know, Woz.
Never know your luck, I tell you what, and the way you go, mate. I tell you what, it's been a nice little
But
resurrection.
I think it's an amazing job.
Yeah. Well, it
Yeah,
would be.
I think it's an amazing job. The wealthiest club in the AFL by a long way. They've got 105,000 members. I know it's going to take a little bit of time, but man, the opportunity to coach an AFL team, they don't come up very often. And there's a lot of really good coaches out there and candidates, and fingers crossed, Jared Schofield can go from interim and take over the gig. But it's an amazing opportunity.
No doubt about that. Hey, mate, you got an opportunity in front of you guys. A terrific win against the Bays. How did you get it done, and how did you get through them?
Jim, I'm not going to lie, you're going to love this, but I went real old school John Cahill style with the boys during the week.
Ooh,
and was just really positive with them and just made them feel like they could run through brick walls and just told them how good they were, and the rest is history.
You didn't do the water's weak trick and not give them any water. He did that to me in the sand dunes one year.
Oh, well.
No, we didn't do that one. We didn't go that far. But no, it just made the boys sort of feel like they could believe they could win. Obviously, Glenelg's an outstanding team. They're the premiers for a reason. They're well coached by Reaver. And, we've been decimated by injury to a lot of key players this year. Sam Mays went out halfway through the year with his concussion. And we've basically lost all of my key defenders and nearly all my key forwards to long-term ankle injuries. So, we've been smashed by injury. So the good thing about that is you get to bring in a bit of youth and some kids who just want to come in and have a crack and play footy. And we got a little bit of that response on the weekend with some guys. So I was really pleased that we played with a little bit of freedom, and we played on a little bit more on instinct. And I was just really wrapped for our coaching group for the way we studied against Glenelg and how we were going to beat them. And the boys went out and executed on game day, which made it even nicer.
Talk about giving young kids a go. There wasn't a young kid who was your ruckman for many years, got pushed forward, and he's a chance in big Mitch Harvey and to win in the Ken Farmer.
Well, as you know, you did a bit of forward stuff with the boys last year, and you've taught Mitch how to kick, so you've got to take a little bit of credit for his goal kicking. But, he's been outstanding. We had a really honest conversation probably after round 2 when I think we were 0-2 and we got smacked by Centrals and Woodville, and we probably felt like it was time that we needed to get halves more for the team out of the ruck and give us a real deep option forward. So we had some pretty honest conversations after round 2, and the big fella's been outstanding. I think he's kicked 10 in 2 weeks. He kicked 5 against Centrals and then 5 obviously against the Bays, and hopefully he can kick another 5 tomorrow night at the parade.
Yeah, it's a huge game, isn't it? Friday night, under lights at the parade. They're always terrific games, but they are sitting on top of the table, but you can do Sturt a favour by giving them a little touch-up too.
Yeah, mate, Norda, they're an outstanding organisation. They're well coached with Twig. He's done a fantastic job with the crew he's got there, but, it's Friday night footy. We don't get to play too many of those games, so we're really embracing the challenge of going there and playing against the best team in the competition. And the theme of the week is why not us, why can't we go down there and do this sort of stuff, and we're just really looking forward to the challenge. Our guys are up and about. We've trained really well this week. we're playing a game style that we think that holds up in big games, and we'll see what happens.
A couple of key players in the off-season. You know, some of your boys travel big distances for training, and one being Campbell Coombe, a phenomenal player, McGarry medalist. Can you give us a bit of an insight as to the sacrifices these blokes to play league footy for the Roosters? Because not many people would realise he does a round trip, and I think he's based in Crystal Brook.
Yeah, so Coomey's just him and his brother Will for a couple of years did the big travel down from Crystal Brook, but half an hour on from Crystal Brook there's a place called Jamestown, and Sam McInerney, our half forward, he actually lives there, so he drives half an hour, grabs Campbell now, and then they drive 2 hours. They train for an hour and a half, and then they drive back on a Wednesday night. So
amazing commitment.
Just outstanding commitment to the footy club. The boys have done it for a few years now. I think Campbell's into his, he had 1 year when he was living down here doing some work, but he's back on the farm now. But, the commitment of those guys to their craft and wanting to play in the best competition outside of the AFL and in the SNFL is outstanding. There's a lot of trust in regards to myself, Darryl, and the club allowing them to train with their local club back home one night a week as well, and then with us, obviously, on the Wednesday night. But they're just two outstanding individuals, two great people who, we really love and adore at our football club. And, Campbell's a 4-time or a 5-time Barry Robber, and I don't know how many, I've lost count how many he's won. I think he's a 4-time. And, he's won a McGarry, and he's just an outstanding person. And Smack's obviously a 2018 Premiership player, Sam McInerney, and they're really revered around our footy club.
Hey, Serge, I'm looking at the numbers. It looks like it was a completely evenly shared midfield performance. So back to your all played well and everybody playing unselfishly, it really looked like everybody carried a load.
Yeah, it did. I don't think it was the first time we probably didn't have anyone over 20 disposals for the game. It was a really selfless effort. Dyson Hilda, played forward, mid, back. He's just been, a pillar of strength for us all year in regards to the way he's playing. Halves goes forward and kicks some goals. Nigel Lockyer kicks some goals. Our defence, Keenan Ramsey's gone down back and held Liam McBean to basically one goal. He got one goal from a free kick, 25 down the ground. And I rate Liam McBean probably as the best forward in the competition, and he's done an outstanding job down there. And I'm just really pleased for the boys that they could go and execute their role. And as we know, when you're winning, you're having fun, and that's what we're trying to do.
And Frankie Zackerley, are you using more forward wing or wing forward? What percentage is he doing?
Yeah, he's doing a bit of both, mate. Like Frankie's hitting the scoreboard a little bit more. He's running his speed and his pressure. We've lost Lockie Grubb and a few other guys in our forward 50 to some major injuries, so we needed some guys down there to put a little bit of pressure on. And Frankie still gets some time up on the wing, but he's spending the majority of his time forward, putting pressure on, and getting around the goals a little bit more. So Frankie's been outstanding. He's had a really solid year. Probably not disposal-wise compared to what he had last year, but he's adding a lot of value in other areas for us this season.
And of course, Norwood, Harry Boyd, he's having another outstanding season. He really is the difference between Norwood winning sometimes and not, and that's got to be one. If you're talking about your coaching team putting together a plan, you've got to have a plan for that bloke.
Yeah, no, absolutely. He's a state ruckman. He's had an outstanding season. I think he's averaging 10 clearances a game. I think his ranking points are through the roof, compared to when they win and lose. He's just been very consistent. He's obviously the premier ruckman in the competition. So, I think the plan against Harry is you've got to just keep throwing different things and different styles at him. We got halves, Matthew McKenzie and Dyson Hilda. All those guys are going to get an opportunity to go through Harry Boyd tomorrow night. I think being flexible in regards to, what the best matchup is for Harry is going to be really important as well. So we'll see how we go. He's an outstanding player, and, we've got to make sure that we're on as coaches with what we want to do, and we stick to, our plan.
Serge, is it fair to say you're going unchanged? I know you've named a squad and you've added Castellini, Franco and Will Tasker, but winning teams, you rarely change them unless you're forced to.
Yeah, I think we'll probably go in unchanged. A lot can happen in 24 hours with COVID, with sickness, with all that sort of stuff. We have got one or two players under a little injured crowd. That's why we've obviously got the three guys on the bench. But no, we're pretty confident that we'll be okay. But I think it's the second time all year, and we've got to round, I think, 18 that we haven't potentially changed the team, which is good for us that we haven't. But, we would have liked a little bit more consistency throughout the year in regards to our playing list. But sometimes those are the cards that we've been dealt, and we've just been trying to look forward and be really clear with the team that we've had out there from week to week. And, no different against Nord this Friday night.
Serge, 2 games to go, mate. All the best with them. It's been a terrific season so far. Let's finish it off.
Brilliant. Thanks, boys. And hopefully the pair can get the chocolates on Saturday night in the Showdown. That'd be even better. So I'm really looking forward to that contest. Boys are playing well.
A couple of good wins for you, mate, for your birthday. Happy birthday, mate, and well done.
That'd be nice.
See you, buddy.
Don't need too much cake, big boy.
Good work, Jacob Surjan.
already had my Boston mud cake today.
Sensational.
See you, Sonia.
Jacob Surjan joining us there from the North Adelaide Footy Club. He spoke about Showdown there at the end. Do you want to head along? You can. It's time to get you into the 5AA locker room. We've made you wait long enough. 8223 0055. That's the number to call. We have Timmy G's quiz to take part. This is going to be a big giveaway for you and a mate. You can get along, get involved.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
5AA is inviting you into the studio every afternoon. Head to the 5AA live stream. Thanks to Foodland. Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
Most new homes are not designed for specialist disability living, which is fine for some homeowners. But if you're living with a disability and want to build a home that complies with the NDIS SDA guidelines, you need Rossdale Home Life. Rossdale Home Life is leading the way in the provision of accessible housing for all South Australians, and our dedicated Home Life team can provide professional advice on the design and construction of your new home or SDA investment property. Rossdale Homes, because trust is a must.
From the creators of the 2021 and 2022 Drive Car of the Year comes the next big thing. The all-electric 7-seat Kia EV9. The 2024 Drive and now World Car of the Year. Visit your nearest Kia showroom or find out more at kia.com.au.
Kia. Movement that inspires.
Are you looking for an accessible gym that accommodates all disabilities? A gym that focuses on fitness, health and mobility? We are Enable Fitness Centre, home to the biggest and best equipped disability exclusive gyms in South Australia. We're an NDIS provider and our gyms and facilities are all custom built, making them accessible for wheelchairs and ambulant clients with physical and intellectual disabilities. You can find us at Holden Hill, Marston and Elizabeth. Visit enablefitnesscentre.com.au for more information.
It's time to say cheese to savings this winter at Coles with Australian-made Coles Tasty Colby and Light cheese blocks. 1 kilo down to just $9.50. A kilo of cheese at a tasty $9.50. That's great value, hands down, at Coles.
Treat your family and friends to something a little fancy from FIVEAA, your family liquor stores. If you relish your winter reds and you like them full-bodied, we have SA-made Shiraz, Cabernet Sauvignon and Malbec for you. A great way to warm up is with a dram of whiskey, and we have many great Australian distilleries with their own distinct flavours. Beer tastes change too, but you're covered with local craft stouts and porters. FIVEAA, your local independent SA family liquor store for over 45 years.
Nestled in the southeastern corner of the city is Hutt Street. It's not quite the city and not quite the suburbs. Hutt Street is your charming tree-lined boulevard with easy parking, specialty shops, luxury stores, restaurants, bars, beverages and everything in between. Whether you're there for a morning catch-up, to pamper yourself, browse the local shops, indulge in lunch, dinner or head out for an evening drink, Hutt Street is worth the visit. After all, it's your corner of the city, the best corner of the city.
Buy SA products for your all-time favourites, for your brother's friend's business, and the taste of homegrown goodness. When you're out and about, look for the state logo and buy SA for SA.
Everyday items locked in at low prices for longer. There's more ways than ever to save at Foodland.
The 5AA Sports Show, Rowie and Timmy G.
23 minutes after 6. 5AA's new soccer show coming up at 6:30 tonight. It debuts this evening with Adelaide United's very own Stephen Mork. He'll be on 5AA every Thursday night from 6:30 going forward. If you want everything from the World Game, listen in. The World Game with Stephen Mork coming up at 6:30. But right now, let's get you to the 5AA locker room. 'Cause I'm Timmy G!
Yes, 2 tickets to the locker room. How good's this for the showdown? It'll be sensational stuff. What do you get inside that locker room? Do you know, Tredders?
You get heaps, and you just handed me the sheet, so thank you for that. 5-hour drinks package, halftime Balfours footy, fair and mini desserts, pre-game dinner box, reserve seating in the Riverbank stand on level 1, which is the great level. 5AA locker room, watch the teams warm up.
Sing the song, half-time, everything.
It's the perfect locker room experience because you actually get both sides of the locker room. You only get that in Showdowns, don't you?
That's correct.
You didn't think of that one, did you, Tim?
Not at all. I'd be putting the blinds down on one side anyway. So let's see how we go. We're going to Hawthorn. James, how are you?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Now I'm going to give you 3 clues, and then you got to guess, okay? You get about 5 seconds. Here we go. I won a Showdown medal.
Oh, that cuts it down a heat, doesn't it?
I played at 2 AFL clubs, but I also played at Port Adelaide in the SANFL.
Ooh.
I kicked 162 goals in my AFL career. Who am I?
Is it Andy McLeod?
Yes, that's a good guess.
Very good
But
guess.
not correct, but he's on the right
Close,
track.
but only played at one club.
Let's go to Damien. G'day, Damien.
G'day, guys. How are we?
Excellent. Okay, do you hear those clues, and who do you think it is?
I reckon it's Scott Thompson.
Oh, Damo, you're too good. You're too good. Yes, you won. You won, my friend.
You're a bit excited, mate.
You're kidding me. Oh, my God, my wife's going to give me a big kiss on the cheek now, guys. Bloody oath.
Really? How good's that? So she's going, or...?
Yeah,
she's going with a girlfriend, is she?
She's going with her girlfriend. I'm going to stay home and watch it. Geez, a good husband I am.
I hope you're joking.
Are you
no, I'm not. I'm not. I'm a good man. I'm a good man.
Are you in the doghouse or something?
No,
you brought her a
I'm out the doghouse now.
5-hour drinks package, and you're letting her take her girlfriend to the Showdown.
Oh no, I'm a bit annoyed, mate. That's okay. Hey, all good. It'll work out. It'll work out.
You'll be a hero, Damien. Well done, mate. Congratulations.
Put your cape on when you come home with this info.
How good's that?
Good on you. Thanks, guys.
Well done, mate. He got it. Yeah, he did well, didn't he? I didn't have to give him another clue.
Surely gets a kiss on the lips for that, not a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, of course, Scotty won that 2015 medal after the Phil Walsh.
That's the Phil
Showdown.
Walsh medal, wasn't
So he
it?
won it then. He won 2 Malcolm Blight medals. I mean, he's great career. And
300 a gamer.
We'll be raving about him tomorrow night when he joins us at Sporties.
And he'll probably be wearing something,
for the Showdown show.
A T-shirt a size too small, so he could show off his rig.
He is huge.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit unfair, won't it, tomorrow?
I reckon we organise a wrestle.
I'm wearing
tomorrow.
baggy
you want
clothing.
to represent Port
No,
Adelaide?
I'm going to nominate my fearless skipper. Timmy versus Scotty.
I've got back issues.
Can't even walk, let alone
I'll be in
wrestle.
traction, you idiot.
6:30 coming up. It's the World Game with Stephen Mork. Make sure if you're a big soccer fan, big football fan, you're listening next.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Peter Dutton created a storm yesterday. He